for 12 months?
Yeah, and you get a lifetime warranty once the project's done.
I get a lifetime warranty once the project is done?
Yes, sir.
What about my down payment?
No down payment, no
What?
deposit.
No down payment, no deposit.
No payment until the project's done.
No payment till the project's done.
Exactly.
Where do I sign up? Aluminum Company of North Carolina, aluminumcompany.com.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's bow time.
It's bow time. Time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich craving. With Bojangles sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a combo and add your choice of a side and Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? It's bow time.
At the V Foundation, V is for victory over cancer. V is for victory over giving up.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Join our team in the fight against cancer at V.org.
Today, we tip our wrench to Rock Auto customer Noah.
My first car was a 2001 Dodge Neon with a blue wing, and it happened to match my high school sweetheart, who's now my wife, her black 2005. So my uncle has been in the industry for well over 25 years. He recommended Rock Auto immediately to buy my first set of brakes. I would recommend Rock Auto just because it's simple, it's easy to find the parts you're looking for, it's all at a good price.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Getting hurt in a car wreck comes with all kinds of stress and frustration. But when you call me, I'll be on top of all of it. So all you need to worry about is getting better. If you've been injured in a car wreck, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather. I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Another scorcher out there. It's a WRAL weather alert day with a heat advisory in effect. It'll feel like 105 or hotter across most of our area today with highs in the mid-90s. Our chance for storms, minimal. We'll see an overnight low of 75. And tomorrow, much like today, highs will be in the mid-90s with a triple-digit heat index.
3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 83 points to 53,376. Market update brought to you by Allstar Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
Deep left corner of the end zone. Jalen Coker hauls it in for a touchdown.
Off the back iron. Wilson comes soaring in to dunk it home.
Copeland jabs on him a couple of times. Step back three-pointer, left corner, swish.
One dribble out for Boozer for three. Big time! And the Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Happy Tuesday, everybody. I'm Tim Donnelly. Dennis Cox back producing the show. One day closer to real football, which means we're going to start hearing about starting quarterbacks. And we have one of those that we're going to let you know about in just a minute or two. It'll be a part of the thing we do to start the show. So let's just start it. It's called the Big 3 at 3. Let's hit it.
Number 1.
Darren Waller. A part of the Panthers, Carolina Panthers, for real now, and he spoke to the media. We'll play audio for you in a second. But first, Big 3 at 3 presented by Mainer Service Company. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Anything going on in your house, if it's not working the way you want it to, call Mainer Services. Or check them out online, mainerservices.com. All right, number one, as I said, Darren Waller, officially a part of the Panthers. He was at practice yesterday, did some working out off to the side, did not participate in team drills or anything like that, but he did watch and he did talk with coaches and players, and he did remind everybody that he is a giant by standing next to other members of the Carolina Panthers and just having the look down as he's talking so he can look you in the eyes. He's a big dude. Well, let's hear from Darren Waller about what it was like for him to get the call from the Carolina Panthers. Obviously, he was a free agent and no longer. So here's Darren Waller on the call he got from Carolina.
I heard from the Panthers Wednesday morning when my agent called me. I was just going to wake up and go train and got a call. And I was like waiting on anybody that offered me a job, I was going to play, So I'm grateful the Panthers offered me the opportunity to come play. And, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
That's a pretty quick developing courtship, and pretty much eliminates what was one of the options, which was that Darren Waller was perhaps being picky with where he came back from. He made it sound like, as soon as somebody called, I was going to say yes, as long as it made a little bit of sense. So you got Darren Waller, but just recognize that he wasn't exactly the hot commodity around the league, at least not yet. More from Darren Waller, speaking to the media in his first media availability as a Carolina Panther, on if he was surprised it took so long for him to be signed.
Not really. I know people take into account where I'm at age-wise, durability concerns, rightfully so. So I understand that those are things people take into account when they're mitigating risk. But, I was just allowing the process to be what it was. Sometimes, it can be like I'm doing all this work since the day after the Super Bowl, when is it going to happen? But, uncertainty is kind of the name of the game. I'm new to this free agent situation, but it is what it was, and I'm grateful that it happened in the timing that it did.
Listen, and I've referenced this a bunch, Darren Waller has been through some self-inflicted, some out of his control. He's been through a ton since leaving Georgia Tech, and maybe even at Georgia Tech. So you're just not going to rattle that guy. You're not like, oh, the phone isn't ringing. You're not going to set him off into some weird mental state when it comes to football, because he has seen the highs, he has seen the lows, he has seen everything in between. He's seen the tabloids, he's seen the analytics nerds love him, he's seen the tabloids hate him, he's seen everything.
You got to respect the self-awareness, though.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think you get to that level of self-awareness in the NFL without being humbled a bunch of times, being at the top of the mountain a bunch of times. You end up really, really no, I understand the situation. Been here, done that. 33 years old. He'll turn 34 right at the beginning of the year. And he has been a little banged up. Last bit of audio here from Darren Waller, his first impressions of the Carolina Panthers team culture.
I mean, I've been welcomed by all the support staff, coaches, players. Everybody's been kind to me since I got here. Just getting introduced to the tight end group, I was really impressed by how well they know their assignments, how well they approach in practice, how hard they work, how composed they are. I think it's going to be a really good group that's going to help me get acclimated, help me learn how to do things, how the whole team does things around here. So I've been impressed by the culture so far.
It has been a while since Darren Waller was a part of a really, really good team. He's been in the NFL. He's been effective. Teams haven't always been the best, especially not as of late. So I'm sure he does want to go to a team with the culture, which it's impossible for him to gauge it that quickly other than exactly what he said. I'm getting to know her, I'm introducing myself. But I'm sure he does want to go to a team that's going to win something. And if he's going to show up with the Carolina Panthers, he's going to want to have as much impact on turning this franchise around or continuing the turnaround as he possibly can. That's number one. How about number two?
Number two.
The Carolina Tar Heels, according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, have named their starting quarterback. They have gone from a four-man competition. Everyone was still on the course. There was no leader in the clubhouse. Four-man competition to Billy Edwards Jr. as the starter. Billy Edwards Jr. will take the field when they take on TCU 11 days from today. August 29th. It is a Saturday. It is week 0. They will be in Dublin, Ireland, and they will face TCU. And according to Pete Thamel of ESPN, it will be Billy Edwards Jr. leading them onto the field. If you don't know who Billy Edwards Jr. is, he's been like if we were stereotyping, that's the wrong word, putting them into categories, the 4 that were competing, he was the veteran. He was the most experienced, right? There was the guy who had the relationship with Bobby Petrino from Texas A&M. That's Miles O'Neill. There was the young, super hot shot freshman. That was Burgess. And there was Newkirk, it's Newkirk. There was Newkirk, the returner, right? The only player that was on the team last year. He redshirted last year. That's how we divvied them up, and the veteran, the most experienced, is the one that will start week 1. His best season came 2 years ago for Maryland when he threw for 2,800-plus yards, 15 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, also ran for 7 touchdowns. Is not a volume runner. Didn't run for a lot of yards, but it's tempting to, keep the ball on all those RPOs and run when you're down on the goal line. Finished with 7 rushing touchdowns. It was 5 that year, 7 the year before. So when he was at Maryland, he was running for some touchdowns. It is completely and totally logical and understandable that they went with the veteran, the person that has seen the most, the person that is less likely to be rattled. It did seem like the tide was turning a little bit towards Miles O'Neill. The portions available to the media, he was the one taking the first reps and everything. But it ends up being Billy Edwards Jr. If it was an intentional smokescreen by Bill Belichick and the staff to make us think it was going to be Miles O'Neill and they knew it was going in the other direction, that's crazy. I don't think it was intentional. I think that's just the way it happened. I like that they're not waiting. I like that they're not doing the we'll tell you game week, or even worse, you'll see who runs out of the huddle week 1. I like that they're letting him have the better part of 2 weeks to live in it a bit, be the starting quarterback for the Carolina Tar Heels, because the spotlight when you're coached by Bill Belichick and when you have the drama of the Tar Heels constantly around you, I think it's good for him to be able to kind of, get used to wearing that title for a little bit. Now, we should mention, starting week 1 does not mean starting every week. Starting week 1 does not mean, it's your job, you can't lose it. This is a team that, for a bunch of reasons, needs to win games this year. And if things start to go south, you have guys that were working with the first-team offense throughout preseason. So it's not like you'd be going to somebody who's completely foreign to the rest of the offense.
And just because you start game 1 doesn't mean you're going to start the second half of game 1. Let's be honest. If things go terrible, you never know.
Yep, it's very true. And coaches are known to mess with that a little bit. Remember, we thought we were going to get Connor Harrell and Max Johnson playing, and then Max Johnson was the only one playing, and then his leg exploded in a gruesome way, and then Connor Harrell had to take over, and it was like I thought we were supposed to see both of them anyway, but it's coaches aren't always under oath, is what I'm saying, or they're never under oath at the podium. So Billy Edwards Jr. is the starter. We'll talk more about what he brings to the offense and what that does for Carolina, but for right now, the news is Billy Edwards Jr., starting quarterback. That's number 2. Let's get to number 3.
Number 3.
We know who NC State's starting quarterback is. It is C.J. Bailey, who, for my money, is one of the best players in the ACC, if not the country. But he is also, as we know now, he is also one of NC State's captains. But also, we know that Dave Doran, right, they share a parking lot with the Canes. Right? Carter Finley Stadium's right across from Lenovo Center. That's where their basketball team plays. Turns out he's taken a page out of the Canes and hockey's playbook. The captains for the NC State Wolfpack, as announced today, C.J. Bailey, as we mentioned, quarterback, running back Duke Scott, linebackers Popo Aguirre, as well as A.J. Richardson, and corner Brian Nelson II. Here's the hockey of it all. They also named 3 assistant captains. Not alternate, but starts with an A, and a lot of people think it means assistant. 3 assistant captains, receiver Keenan Jackson, offensive guard Kamen Smith, and defensive tackle Isaiah Shirley are assistant captains. I've never seen this in football. I've never seen assistant captains in football.
No, neither have I.
And granted, all captain, I mean, I guess you could talk to the ref a little bit more seriously. Usually captains are kind of ceremonial, right? Like, you know, it's an honor more than it is anything. Yeah.
We'll call heads.
All you got to do is make sure. This happened to me twice in high school where we deferred and they picked a kick, which meant we got the ball in the first half and second half. And the refs are going, "Are you sure you would like to kick?" Yeah. Are you 100% sure? Just got to make sure you don't mess up the coin toss and you're good. But adding assistant captains, it made me think of 2 things. One, I don't know, maybe they stretch with like 8 lines, so they just needed 8 line leaders. So, you know, you got to have 3 more. Or perhaps it is a retention deal. You feel more ownership over it and like it's my program, so there's more guys who feel like they're part of the leadership group, and you can't abandon them when you're a leader. You know what I mean? You can't hit the transfer portal when this is your team and you own it. You have ownership. It's your thing. So you give more guys that type of feeling, maybe it gives you just a percentage more in the loyalty. Or they just had 8 guys that they thought were deserving and didn't want to leave any out. That's NC State captains and assistant captains. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, the Big 3 at 3, presented by Mainer Service Company, heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Check them out online, MainerServices.com. When we come back, ESPN looked at the next 3 years of NFL and ranked teams by how successful they'll be over the next 3 years. Where do you think the Panthers and their roster lined up? I'll tell you next.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newman Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newman Company, your Carrier Factory Authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcomencompany.com. Newman Company, your comfort is our business.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month financing.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Sleep Number's new collections are designed to adapt to the changing nature of your life and your sleep needs. Whether it's the personalized comfort of the Comfort Mode mattress, the targeted pressure relief of the Comfort Next mattress, or the Climate Collection that actively cools or warms to help you fall asleep and stay asleep.
And now, all beds are on sale during our biggest sale of the year. Save 25% on the new Comfort Next Luxe, plus free delivery on any mattress. Ends Monday, only at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com.
This is The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We are at the point in the NFL season, by the way, where maybe not every, 30 of the 32, and you can guess the two, 30 of the 32 teams' fan bases have talked themselves into this season being unbelievable. They've looked at the schedule, they've circled the wins, and they've realized they've circled almost all of them. That every young player is going to take the next step. Every veteran, no matter how old or how injury-prone, they're going to stay healthy. The new coach, even if it's just a position coach, is going to unlock something, right? The optimism is there, which I love about this time of year. Right? If you lose in the preseason, who cares? It's the preseason. If you win in the preseason, look at all the improvements they made. Everything's fixed from last year.
Momentum, baby. Let's go.
But the thing is, looking further into the future, you can always do that. Every point in the season, you could be 0-6. Do you know what you're telling yourself? Oh, these young guys are getting reps. They're gonna benefit from this next year, right? You're eliminated from the playoffs. What do you think? Play the guys that are going to be a core part of the future. Get those important experiences. You sneak into the playoffs, oh, this is going to pay dividends. That's what we were doing last year with the Panthers, right? Win, lose, or draw against the Rams. Just the experience of playing meaningful football in the postseason is going to help these guys level up. They're going to be a older, more mature group. Yeah, but also you need the dudes, right? You need the guys. And as much as you want to talk yourself into it, certain teams get caught in the treadmill of mediocrity where you're always a little too good to get a high pick, but not good enough to be a contender, and you can get caught there. So I thought it was interesting that on the doorstep of the season, where we're all optimistic about this year, ESPN and a group of writers, Aaron Schatz, Ben Solak, Louis Riddick, and Seth Walder, decided to put out their rankings of teams over the next 3 years. Specifically 2027 to 2029 projections for 32 teams. And they grouped them much like you do in grades, right? 100 would be an A+, 90 to 99 an A, and 80 to 89 a B, 70 to and so forth. Where do you think the Panthers were ranked? Everybody, put the guess in your brain. 1 to 32. Where do you think the Panthers over the next 3 years are ranked? Everybody lock in your answer? If you got a friend there, say it to him. The correct answer, 23. 23rd in the NFL. Well below half. Well below average in the bottom section, however you want to call it.
Bottom third.
Bottom third. The score, 74.75. Just as C comes. Just right there in the middle. C's get degrees, but they don't win Super Bowls. You're not valedictorian with a bunch of C's on your report card. Do you know what this ranking really is? And I'm not saying it's a flaw in the rankings. I'm saying it's anytime you're looking multiple years into the future for the NFL, do you know what the ranking really is? It's 3 things. It's head coach, quarterback, and stars. Because the NFL, what does the NFL stand for, everybody? Not for long. Really, the only things that might be around 3 years into the future are quarterback, coach, stars. So if you believe in those three groups, you're going to be near the top. If you don't believe in any of those three, you're going to be knocked down considerably.
I'll add front office into that mix, like general manager.
Yeah, front office obviously chooses the 3.
Sure.
Yeah, so like they're a big part of it as well. Can you tell me 100% of that head coach, quarterback, stars? Like who's going to be around 3 years from now, 3.5 years from now? There's no one out there that can tell me Bryce Young is going to be the quarterback 3.5. You might hope, you might think, you might believe that he can, but you're not certain that he will be the quarterback 3 years from now.
No.
Dave Canales?
Maybe.
I'd say a slightly better chance, but it's definitely not 100%.
Maybe.
You'd be doubling and then some his tenure that he's had with the Panthers already. And look at, just look up and down the NFL for coaches that showed signs of life and then did not make it much further beyond there. And then stars, I think you're probably pretty confident in like J.C. Horn.
Yeah.
Probably pretty confident in Derek Brown.
Yeah.
And then maybe like a Jalen Phillips Tedero McMillan will still be there because he'll be on a rookie contract.
But yeah, he's someone you're going to keep.
You really hope he continues to progress.
Nick, I can throw like Nick Scorton, someone along those lines, possibly in the mix.
But I wouldn't even consider them stars. I wouldn't consider Nick Scorton a star. Tedero McMillan, I would.
Yeah.
But it's rookie contracts are kind of a different beast. That's not a ton that you can build off of. Because my first thought was 23rd. This is like, think of all the youth, and I started running through all of the older teams in the NFL and going like, even though they're good, 3 years from now, they might, like the Rams aren't going to be, they got so many old guys, and the Eagles, they got so many old guys, and the Chiefs, they got so many old guys, and I was going through that, but then I started thinking, well, are the young guys for the Panthers more likely to be around than the old guys for some of those other teams? Right? Is that really what's going to happen? The biggest question, and if you read the blurbs, it's the biggest question, is Bryce Young, right? If you don't have your quarterback, it doesn't really matter how good the rest of your team is in a lot of ways, unless your defense is an all-timer. And I don't know if he's going to be around. They even go as far in the article of bold prediction, the Panthers will draft a quarterback in the first round of the next draft. And then they follow that up with, this might not even qualify as that bold, really. They're anticipating the buzzer and real bold predictions for saying they're going to draft a quarterback in the next draft. You can't be confident in a team. And 3 years seems small, right? Like 2029 doesn't seem that far away. You can't be confident in in a team for any stretch beyond like right now if you don't have the quarterback set up. That's the simple and honest truth. I think for a year you might be able to. If you have a quarterback who's the game manager, but you know for a fact this year your defense is going to be a monster, then you can be excited about like a year. Like our defense is going to be so good. But defenses, they don't last forever when you put them together because, it takes one injury or one guy wanting to get paid or one guy getting old and it all falls apart. So I think you can win with a quarterback that is just there as kind of a passenger. I don't think you can be confident 3-4 years into the future if you don't have the quarterback driving the boat. So 23, I'm actually kind of okay with it. I wasn't at first. I was defensive like most Carolina Panthers fans. So there are certain things that if they're said, Panthers fans just like, all right, let me go get my armor. I guess we're gonna fight. Yep, give me 1 second here. Let me go get my ammunition. As soon as I saw 23, my brain went, let's fight. What are they doing? National media hates Carolina. How am I gonna fight this one back? And then I started thinking, and it ended up with like, okay, fine. Few tweaks here, few tweaks there, maybe a little bit higher. But when it comes to these lists, if they're in the right spot, not much you can do. Like right general area. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Coming up next, we have the Dean's List, where we have some auto entries for being on an awards watch list. And I'm putting a player on the Dean's List because they deserve to be on the watch list. One of the most egregious snubs of preseason award watch lists season that we've seen all year. But before we can do any of that, Dennis has a piece of information he would like you to know.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my good friends over at Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Talk about planning and looking ahead to the future. If you want to look ahead to the future about maybe the weight loss goal that you want to have, look no further than Raleigh Weight Loss Center. And give them a call at 919-897-7506 or visit RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Don't worry, folks. I'll give you the number on the website here again in just a moment. But I've been with Raleigh Weight Loss Center and been with their program for about a year now. And it's amazing that the 30-plus pounds that I lost since about a year ago this time, I've been able to keep that weight off. And I actually have a wedding coming up here in about 2.5 months, and I've been thinking to myself, like, you know what? Really want to look good on the wedding day. I've got that wedding date. I've got that wedding weight I want to get down to, and I know exactly the plan I need to follow. That's Raleigh Weight Loss Center, and that's the key part about Raleigh Weight Loss Center. It's a plan for you to follow. I know a lot. Give them a call, 919-897-7506. Results may vary.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, gives you one of the biggest snubs of preseason awards watch list season. Coming up next.
It's bow time. We think a chicken sandwich this good should speak for itself. But when you're talking juicy, hand-breaded, and boldly seasoned chicken breasts, piled up with thick-cut pickles and creamy mayo all on a buttery toasted bun, well, we are happy to say it again and again and again. Bo's Chicken Sandwich, only at Bojangles. It's Bo time.
It's Bo time. Time to satisfy your Bojangles sandwich craving. With Bojangles sandwich lineup, you can choose a flavorful Cajun fried chicken filet sandwich, or a tender Cajun grilled chicken filet sandwich, or a tasty Bo's chicken sandwich. Make it a combo and add your choice of a side and Bojangles legendary iced tea. There's a Bojangles sandwich combo for everyone. Summer just doesn't get any better than that. What are you waiting for? It's Bo time.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-292-4541 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-292-4541. That's 800-292-4541. What do you have to lose? Call 800-292-4541. Again, 800-292-4541.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new brick you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really helped me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-3931. 800-505-3931. 800-505-3931.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I think we have gotten to the point where college sports, much like pro sports, are 365 days a year things. The transfer portal, the lawsuits, the NIL, the everything has made it so the reality television show of the offseason does not stop for college sports. It happens kind of slowly with pro sports, right? Where suddenly, like, the NFL draft became a bigger and bigger thing. And suddenly, like, you know, why do we have pictures of LeBron and Chris Paul and Dwayne Wade on vacation? And all, like, it became every month, every week. And now it's just assumed, right? Like, you remember when what was it, NBA Today used to go off air for like 4 months? Now that, like, in the middle of the offseason, they have enough to fill entire television shows speaking exclusively about the NBA. And college sports kind of moved slowly first. And then picked it up, and now it's just there. I mean, I don't know if there's like a 3-day stretch since the NCAA Football National Championship that I didn't see Curt Cignetti's face somewhere. And that used to be completely implausible. So with that, we have quite a few kind of drama things. The off-season, the reality television show of it all entries into the Dean's List. Now, first of all, let's put the players that made the Doak Walker Award watch list on the Dean's list. If you're from a local team we cover, and you make a national watch list, you are automatically on the Dean's list. So, Damon June, sophomore running back for the Carolina Tar Heels, and Jaden Duke Scott, running back, junior, for the NC State Wolfpack. They are both on the Doak Walker Award watch list, which goes to the top running back in the entire country each year. So credit to them. There were, I think it was 60 names on the Doak Walker Award watch list, and they are 2 of them.
Do not forget as well, Ashton Gray, East Carolina.
Ashton Gray, there you go. Transfer, incoming. The tough part about this is I want to celebrate those 3 guys that are on the Doak Walker Award watch list, but the Doak Walker Award watch list has lost some credibility for me. It's, it's like if you're let me think of a good example. If your buddy's favorite movie of all time is Adam Sandler's Jack and Jill, and then they go see a movie and they come back like, dude, it's great, you got to see it, I'm going to be like, yeah, I can't trust your opinion because Jack and Jill's an awful movie and it's your favorite of all time, so I'm going to ask somebody else about the movie you just saw. The Doak Walker Award Committee, or whoever puts together the watch list, did not include Nate Shepard from Duke. I don't even. It's such a bad miss that I actually think it's an omission rather than it is a like they forgot to put him on the ballot, not that they didn't vote for him. Like he fell through the cracks rather than them actually saying he's not one of the 60 best running backs in the country. For a little bit of context, last season as a freshman, he had the 21st most rushing yards in the country. And that includes like Jeremiah Love and these guys that went pro. So how is he not one of the 60 best? He had 11 rushing touchdowns. Oh, by the way, he also received almost 300 more yards and another touchdown. And he was a part of the ACC champion, Duke Blue Devils. And he was a freshman. Did I mention that? When do we expect the biggest jump in play from freshman to sophomore year? There are guys that made the Doak Walker Award watch list with less than 100 yards rushing last year. But they were high pedigree recruits, so they just get thrown on the list for fun. I don't like it. I can't fathom it, so it just makes me think less of the list. If they put out a my bad, typo, Nate Shepard is on the list, I would respect them a lot more than if they just stick to their guns on this one.
Had over 1,400 total yards from scrimmage last season and 12 touchdowns.
And not inefficient. Like he was over 5 yards a carry. Like this was not a pure volume play. I don't get it.
Damon June from Carolina, who's on the list, averaged 5.5 yards per carry, which is good, but only had 84 attempts, 464 yards, had 2 touchdowns. Again, didn't have the volume.
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's a separate conversation for another time. But still, didn't have the volume. Nowhere near what Nate Shepard did last season.
For reference, Liberty, the university, has 3 running backs on the Doak Walker Award watch list. Duke had the best freshman running back in the ACC last year, one of the best freshman running backs in the country last year. They don't have any on the Doak Walker Award watch list. So I'm putting Nate Shepard on the Dean's list along with the other guys on the Doak Walker Award watch list because he deserves to be with them on the list.
Texas had 2 guys on the list. Georgia Tech has 2 guys. By the way, Hollywood Smothers, former...
I was going to say, Texas has 2 of the best, and Raleigh Brown had about the same rushing yards as Nate Shepard last year. So those guys are good, but Shepard is their peer. Like, he is their partner in all of this. He's very similar in production. He should be on the list as well. There are some guys I don't think should be on the list, but I don't want to have to list those. I just want to say he should be, and we can kick someone else out. More Dean's list. How about former UNC edge rusher Kamen Rucker?
Okay.
Kyle Humans is the voice of the Ravens, and he tweeted out like observations from their most recent practice. And the voice of the Ravens said, "My favorite rep of the day was Kamen Rucker driving an offensive tackle 8 yards into the backfield on a bull rush. Strength on display." He's a third-string outside linebacker on their depth chart right now, and he's scratching and clawing to get opportunities. I just want to say, if he had a good practice, I want to hype it up. I love when the local guys, particularly the ones that, I think were maybe underdrafted or weren't drafted, and I thought they should have. I like to see them, taking advantage of their opportunities. So line up in front of Cayman Rucker at your own peril. He just might bull rush you 8 yards into the backfield. Dennis, do you have any Dean's Listers you'd like to add?
I would like to throw onto the Dean's List.
Okay.
Hannah Bazemore from Campbell. She's actually stepping down as athletic director, but she has taken a position with Florida State as a senior women's administrator at FSU.
Congratulations on the move, and hopefully Campbell has either a heir waiting to take the throne or finds a winner in their search process.
By the way, one of the younger athletic directors in the entire country, she graduated Campbell in 2007. Like, she's been their athletic director for several years now.
And we should just point out, once you officially get that, fsu.edu email, you're the enemy. Because, Florida State's constantly trying to upend the ACC from the inside. But we do appreciate what you did for Campbell. Had some good runs there. More Dean's List. This one's just, it's kind of funny, but it's also kind of like the sign of the apocalypse. I'm going to put AJ Storr. AJ Storr, and more specifically AJ Storr's agent, his NIL agent. So AJ Storr, if you don't know, is a player that was granted a 5th year of eligibility in the recent court cases, basketball player. And he has committed to playing his 5th year with UNLV, which now, going back to high school, brings AJ Storr to 9 schools in 9 years. Freshman year of high school, Kankakee High School. Then sophomore year of high school, Bishop Gorman. Then junior year of high school, Arizona Compass Prep. Then senior year of high school, IMG Academy. Freshman year of college, St. John's. Sophomore year of college, Wisconsin. Junior year of college, Kansas. Senior year of college, Ole Miss. Now 5th year of college, UNLV. I don't know if we've ever seen a run like that. 9 schools in 9 years. Maybe he just wanted to see the country.
Maybe.
The goal was, I have buddies that tried to play overseas, and they're like, I'm not trying to make any money. I just want to go on cool vacations and have, play basketball so they'll pay for it. Maybe he just wanted to see the country. 9 in 9 years. That'll do it for the Dean's List here on The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. We could have put Billy Edwards Jr. on the Dean's List for winning the starting job with the Carolina Tar Heels. Instead, we'll just come back and talk about Billy Edwards Jr. earning the starting job for the Carolina Tar Heels. But first, Tim Donnelly here for Miller Lending. You want to see the country? You want to go live in a bunch of different places? That might mean you're constantly looking for a mortgage, and you might be a little upset that every time you want to move into a different house, or you have to, right? Upgrade, downgrade, move for work. Every time rates drop and you want to refi, you have to pay closing costs. Why? Well, the fact is you don't have to. You can either pay closing costs or call Miller Lending that is, and ask for their no-cost loan. Right? There's another option. They have a no closing cost loan, and it says it right there in the title. No hidden surcharges, no hidden fees, right? It's not like they take closing costs, put a different name on it, and charge you in a day later and go, it's not closing costs. No, they don't repurpose or repackage. It's not closing costs with a better publicist. They got rid of closing costs. So if that's what's preventing you from refinancing, if that's what's preventing you from getting into the house of your dreams, don't let it prevent you any longer. Call Miller Lending, ask some questions. They'll have the answers that you're looking for. The number to call, 919-447-3377. That's 919-447-3377. Or visit them online at millerlending.com. Once again, millerlending.com. Miller Lending is the equal housing lender, NMLS number 2502146. As promised, when we come back, Billy Edwards Jr., starting quarterback for the Carolina Tar Heels. What does that mean for the Tar Heels? Stick around.
Myth. If I drink, it only affects me. Fact. It affects more than you. Your reaction time, your safety, and everyone counting on you. Game's over, and it's time to head home. Someone says, I'm good, only had a couple. Now, it's on you. Stay quiet or speak up, because one bad decision affects everyone in that car. Real teammates step in. They protect each other. Make a plan. Speak up. Talk it out NC, because real teammates look out for each other.
Learn more at talkitoutnc.org.
Hey man, been to Sharkies lately?
Yeah, man, I was there last night with you.
Oh, yeah. The wings and the burgers are killer. They have so many beers it's hard to choose, you know?
I know. You know, they got trivia on Tuesdays and luck of the draw darts on Sunday, man. I love them both.
Yeah, I love that place, man.
You know what, man? I think Sharkies may be the best bar in the world.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. Let's go grab a beer.
Sharkies at the corner of Delta Lake Drive and Durham Road. Open 7 days a week.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
Carolina football tickets are on sale now. The 2026 schedule is loaded with great games against Notre Dame, Syracuse, Miami, Louisville, NC State, and the home opener against East Tennessee State on September 12th. Experience Chapel Hill on game days, including the Chapel Thrill Concert Series. This year's pregame performers include Chase Rice, Neon Trees, Waka Flocka, and Shaquille O'Neal. Don't miss out on the 100th season of Carolina football in Kenan Stadium. To order your 2026 Carolina football tickets now, visit GoHeels.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Billy Edwards Jr., Carolina Tar Heels fans, if you haven't been paying attention to sports this afternoon, Billy Edwards Jr. is your starting quarterback. Little bit of an okie doke from the Carolina Tar Heels, just because many of the I would say open to the media portions of practice had Miles O'Neill, who would take the first rep in a lot of cases. So made me, I'll put my hand up, I misread this one, maybe intentionally misled by the squad. But I thought it was Miles O'Neill's job, and the explanation that I came up with was that he's a bit more familiar due to their relationship from Texas A&M with Bobby Petrino, the offensive coordinator. So I thought that gave him a leg up. Now, Pete Thamel, who reported that Billy Edwards Jr. is the starter, did say it was a very close competition with Miles O'Neill. So, you know, if he won by a nose, right? It was a close race. But speaking of maybe the intentional mislead, so this news broke what, like an hour ago? Maybe less?
Not even.
So one of the first things I did was I wanted the stats for Billy Edwards Jr. I wanted to go see, what he had done specifically, exactly at Wisconsin, at Maryland. He started his career at Wake, didn't play, but his first year in college was at Wake Forest. So I searched on Google Billy Edwards Jr. And do you know what I thought was very, very funny? I'm going to read you the 3 top stories that Google gave me, just the headlines. Sports Illustrated, Billy Edwards Jr.'s downfall at UNC is more proof Wisconsin was devoid of talent in 2025. Next one. Life for Billy Edwards Jr. after Wisconsin is not going to plan so far at UNC. Next one. Former Wisconsin quarterback in danger of losing starting job at North Carolina. Turns out I may not have been the only one that thought he was behind in the starting job competition. Turns out everybody in Wisconsin, which is where he played the last 3-4 years, or the last 1 year, and then Maryland for 3 or 4 before that. But where he was last year, everyone at Wisconsin was very much excited to see that he was struggling or not expected to win the starting job because they didn't want to admit to themselves that a good quarterback would leave Wisconsin. Now, I'm not saying he is or isn't a good quarterback, but I am saying Carolina did a pretty good job of keeping this under wraps if it is something that they knew was going to happen. And the irony is, if you would have asked me at the beginning of training camp who's going to be the starting quarterback, I would have been very, very confident that it was going to be Billy Edwards Jr. But as the way they handled it throughout camp, I started to question it. Maybe we should not have questioned the logic and just known that Bill Belichick is going to do things on his own timeline. He's going to do things on his own little quirky path, and it's really where he ends up that ends up being predictable, maybe not how he gets there. Now, what does Billy Edwards Jr. Bring to the Tar Heels? Well, first of all, he brings 23 years of age. He brings a boatload of time in college.
Especially for a team that's really, really young.
Really, really young. And we're actually going to talk about this later on. But if you look at every single team in the ACC, how many on their roster, like total of everybody on the roster, how many snaps they've played at the FCS or FBS level, so the two highest levels of football, Carolina is dead last in the ACC. They have the fewest amount of snaps on their roster played in college football before this year. That alone is a reason to go to somebody that, if you have 4 competing to be a starting quarterback, you go to the one that has the most snaps. Because whether you're the most talented or not, there is no replacing. You've been out there on the field a bunch, right? It's not new to you. You've had a chance to make good plays and bad plays. You know how prepared you have to be. A calming voice, if you will. Everybody else that was in the starting quarterback competition for Carolina had played minimal at most. Right? Miles O'Neill, handful of plays. Even less for Newkirk and none for Burgess, the true freshman. And meanwhile, Miles O'Neill is like, yeah, I threw 300 yards, something in 2022 at Maryland, and that was after my redshirt year at Wake Forest. He was in college football making some plays when brand new Carolina Panther Darren Waller was still playing for the Raiders. And since then, he's played for the Giants, he's played for the Dolphins, he retired for a year, and now he's on the Panthers. And Billy Edwards Jr. can remember watching inside a college locker room watching Darren Waller play for the Raiders. So my point is, it's been a long time, and that to me is borderline reason enough to play Billy Edwards Jr. The flip side of it is it's much easier from a locker room perspective to go older to younger than it is to go younger to older, right? If you would have started one of the freshmen, or if you would have started Miles O'Neill and then gone to Billy Edwards Jr., it almost feels like you're grasping at straws. Going Billy Edwards Jr. first is like, all right, you want the vet. You want the steady hand, and if it's not working, you can go to the more high upside, although lower floor, younger guys when that seems appropriate. Right, I don't know if you want to make decisions based on like, hey, when this goes poorly, how are we going to handle it? But it's nice to have like more arrows in your quiver, right? It's nice to have more things you can do. And then also, and I was surprised by this. I mentioned earlier, Billy Edwards Jr. runs for more touchdowns than you think. Doesn't run for a boatload of yards, but I guess it's important to mention that in college they do subtract yards for sacks. So,
which is stupid, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah, it's I wouldn't say the smartest thing in the world. So you can take away, like you can add a few more yards, I assume, for sacks that reversed it. But in the last 2 years that he played at Maryland, he had 12 rushing touchdowns. That's a lot. And in 2023, he had 7 rushing touchdowns, 91 yards, but only threw 30 pass attempts. So I assume he was getting like running package looks, right? He was the quarterback that came in short yardage. Maybe there's some tush pushing going on. He was the quarterback that was brought in to run the ball. So I believe, at least out of him and Miles O'Neill, which is what it seems like it came down to, he is the more mobile, the more, ready to run the ball quarterback. Miles O'Neill, even if you go to his recruiting pages, was not known for tucking it and running the football. And I think the Carolina Tar Heels offense this year is going to be a true, by any means necessary offense. I like Damon June. I really like Jordan Shipp. There's a few playmakers on that team that I can get down with, but there's going to be games, if you're going up against a really good defense, where every first down is going to seem like a marathon. Like, it's going to be hard work. It's going to be tough sledding. And if your quarterback can take what could have been maybe a 2-yard tackle for a loss and turn it into a 2.5-yard gain because he's a little bit more capable of a runner, that might be the difference between getting your defense, a minute and 30 of rest or getting your defense 3 minutes and 45 seconds of rest, which is pretty darn big. And I'm talking game time, not actual time. So it makes sense to me that Billy Edwards Jr. is going to be the starter. I think on the very surface level, right, we have almost no access to practice tape or anything going on. So we can't judge who's been, better in the most recent scrimmages. But on the very, very surface level, like just looking at biographies, I think Billy Edwards Jr. is probably the right pick. With the acknowledgement, like we've made many times, that this program, more than most, needs to win games and needs to change momentum. So you cannot, you cannot let it simmer too long. If the offense isn't working and you're through 4 games, you can't go, well, let's give them another 2 or 3 and see how it develops. Like, you have to be willing to go to Miles O'Neill or Burgess or whoever you think will give the spark to the team. I still have the image, and you don't know the conversations that happened. I still have the image. I was at it was on the road, which is always a more contagious or more kind of combative atmosphere. Carolina was playing at UCF, and UCF was giving them the business a bit. And Bryce Baker, who I thought was a super talented incoming, true freshman, but brought a different kind of sizzle. I mean, it never even looked like he was considering getting ready to go in the game, right? Like, backup quarterbacks know the move, right? You start warming up. You start stretching. You let coach know you're ready. Never even came close. So they have to be a little bit more quick if it doesn't go well. If it goes great, hey, Billy Edwards Jr., take it the rest of the way. If you're putting up 30, 34 points a game, by all means. But if it's not, you had a 4-man competition. You got 3 other options you might be able to put in there and get something different from. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan.
Real quick, how short is that leash, you think?
I think it depends how bad it goes, right? Like obviously if you're winning, it's all kind of context. I think you have to have a real strong look in the mirror after the first month and see if you can't do better. Their schedule is not easy, and it will not get easier. They again, TCU, East Tennessee State, Clemson, Notre Dame. I think you're going to know what your veteran is after that group. But also, I'm not sure I'd want to put a young guy in there for Clemson, Notre Dame, so I don't know if it can be quicker than that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like, all right, get us through these tough first 4 games, and then we'll see.
You see it in the NFL all the time. You face, like, Denver, Seattle, Houston. Then the number 3 overall pick starts the next week, and the veteran sitting there going like, oh, sure, he's going to look better than me. Who do we got this week? Arizona? Of course. Right? It happens. So I'm not sure I'm throwing one of the young guys out there before you get through Notre Dame with their 4th game. After that, might be a time for a change. Pittsburgh is a little bit easier of a landing spot. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, football at 4. We're talking Panthers next.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with 0 risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. Your life is busy. Between work, family, and everything else on your calendar, finding time for car care isn't always easy. That's why I'm excited to share that our University Place and Crabtree locations are open Saturdays from 8 to 5. Whether you need tires, maintenance, or repairs, you'll now have more flexibility to take care of your car when it works best for you. It's just one more way we're working to make automotive service a little easier. Schedule your Saturday appointment at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
Football season is back, and there's no better place to watch it than the Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex. College football Saturdays bring $4 hard seltzers and $3.75 Miller Lite pints. Then it's NFL Sundays with $1 off New Belgium pints all season. Pick all the winners of the 1 o'clock games, and you could score a New Belgium prize pack and a Dugout gift card. Brunch starts at 10 a.m. all weekend. After the game, check out the brand new dart area and join a team. Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex is your football headquarters.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Workers' comp can be tricky, but my law firm will be on top of all the complicated paperwork and sneaky deadlines so that all of your I's are dotted and T's are crossed. If you've been hurt on the job, I'm on top of it. Contact us at ritchielaw.com.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. The heat, our big story again this afternoon. A heat advisory is in effect now for most of the area, but the heat index potentially 105 or hotter this afternoon. It's a WRAL weather alert day. Our high in the mid-90s for today. We'll see mid-70s tonight and mid-90s again tomorrow with another high heat index, but few thunderstorms.
4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones down 100 points at the closing bell to 53,359. Weather update and market update brought to you by Allstar Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
Let's move the chains. Time for Football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. Football at 4, brought to you by John Hester, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Hester. We're almost to the point where we'll have football at 4, but my brain's going to be on football about 24/7. But for right now, we'll keep it to football at 4. And it's all brought to you, as we said, John Hester. Here's the deal, everybody. When a team signs Darren Waller, as we've discussed since the news broke last week that they were planning on signing Darren Waller, when a team signs a player like Darren Waller, I think they know what they're getting into. Right? If you had a player with the exact same skill set, exact same height, weight, speed, age as Darren Waller, but their name was like Joe Schmo, you might bring him in on a whim. You might go, let's see. Yeah, I'm fascinated by the analytics. Let's add him to the roster, see how he meshes. But when it's a player who's as famous as Darren Waller is and who has made as much money and who has at times been so darn successful and impactful, you're aware you're not going to like slide him in under the radar. I actually think it's kind of a curse of the former star. Like you almost never get brought in to like fight for the last roster spot, even if that's what you want to do. Even if you're humble enough to be like, no, I want to run down on special teams. I want to help these young guys. Like, sign me because I just want to keep playing football. I think a lot of times teams are like, no, we're not going to do that. You're you, right? You're you. If we bring you in, fans are going to want to buy your jersey. They're going to want to see you making plays. They're not going to want to, avoid it. So they bring in Darren Waller. I don't believe they're bringing Darren Waller in to be the fourth tight end. I believe they're bringing Darren Waller in with the understanding that you bring in a name like that, you better be out there on third downs, right? He better be the pass-catching tight end. And I think Darren Waller is aware of that as well. We're about to play some audio for you where he talks about how long it took for him to be signed and we, was he surprised and all these things. I think he's aware that if it were purely talent, if it were purely, am I one of the, 32 times 53 best football players in the world right now, he would have been signed, but no one was going to bring him in to be number 53. They're going to bring him in if they had a need for the things he does best. And the Panthers bringing him in tells me they have a need for the things he does best. Here's Darren Waller on what it was like getting the call from the Carolina Panthers or from his agent who talked to the Carolina Panthers. Here's Darren Waller.
I heard from the Panthers Wednesday morning when my agent called me. I was just going to wake up and go train and got a call. And I was like waiting on anybody that offered me a job, I was going to play, So I'm grateful the Panthers offered me the opportunity to come play. And, yeah, I'm excited to be here.
Anybody that gave me a job, I was going to go play. That's what I'm getting at. Right? He just wants to play. He just wanted to be on a roster. But a team wasn't going to bring him in to just be another guy. So the Panthers, looking at the way their offense has played this preseason, and we've talked about how it's probably not good news for Jatavian Sanders, but they looked at it and said, you know what? I think we need a guy that can stretch the seam. We need a guy that can catch on third down. We need a guy that can be a mismatch nightmare for linebackers and undersized DBs. Like that's what they need, and that's what they've hopefully added. More audio from Darren Waller's first media availability as a Carolina Panther. Here he is. The question I was referencing earlier, was he surprised it took so long for him to get signed to an NFL team?
Not really. I know people take into account where I'm at age-wise, durability concerns, rightfully so. So I understand that those are things that people take into account when they're mitigating risk. But, I was just allowing the process to be what it was. Sometimes, it can be like I'm doing all this work since the day after the Super Bowl, when is it going to happen? But, uncertainty is kind of the name of the game. I'm new to this free agent situation, but it is what it was, and I'm grateful that it happened in the timing that it did.
Some pretty good self-awareness there, especially the injury thing. I think most players, and this is because athletes, I think you have to be trained this way, especially to play a contact sport. They think even if they've been hurt like the last 9 years consecutively, they think like all of those were freaks. I am invincible. He's looking around going like, nah, I'm older. I've been hurt a lot. Teams aren't going to exactly love having that on their rosters. Matter of fact, right? Just here's some facts for you. What'd you think I was going to say? You thought I was going to deny it? It's like, well, that's what every athlete does. But he's just kind of like, no, it made sense.
You got to appreciate the self-awareness and maturity.
I
get it. I was nicked up. I was banged up. Production really wasn't there. My age, I'm about to turn 34. The very first game of the season, I'll turn 34 years old. I get why teams aren't going to be calling me.
What I like about it is the Panthers who did end up calling him include a coach that was his pass game coordinator last year in Darrell Bevel, and then also a player who was probably lined up across from him at least a few times in practice in Jalen Phillips with Miami. So it's not as if those concerns that Darren Waller just matter-of-factly said teams would have couldn't be addressed, right? Because you could absolutely go to Jalen Phillips and say, does he still have the same pop? Is it still as noteworthy when he gets going with his athleticism? You could go to Bevel. Does he take care of himself? Was he trying to rehab? Did he do all you have the insider knowledge because those guys were within the Miami Dolphins program last year. And the other thing that I was thinking this, because I was like, wait a second, why didn't Mike McDaniel go get him? And it actually made me kind of comforted. You know what Mike McDaniel has as the offensive coordinator of the Chargers? A bunch of really good tight ends. They have Kohler to block, they have Njoku to do both, and they have Oronde Gadsden, who ACC knows from Syracuse as a pass catcher. They just didn't have a need. Right, I wanted to look around and see everybody that was connected to the Dolphins and go like, did they need a tight end? Why didn't they take Darren Waller? Well, it turns out Bevel is one of the few that was a part of that team that was up close and personal with him last year, who at this point in the season needed a tight end. Makes me feel a little bit better. Darren Waller, last piece of audio for you. When he was talking with the media, was asked about his first impressions of the team culture with the Panthers, and this is what the veteran said.
I mean, I've been welcomed by all the support staff, coaches, players. Everybody's been kind to me since I got here. Just getting introduced to the tight end group, I was really impressed by how well they know their assignments, how well they approach in practice, how hard they work, how composed they are. I think it's going to be a really good group that's going to help me get acclimated, help me learn how to do things, how the whole team does things around here. So I've been impressed by the culture so far.
I want to clear this up because sometimes I think we conflate issues with players. Where, if you get caught in the disciplinary or early in his career, as I've said, like he had some drug issues that he has been very open with, right? He has some vices that battles that he had to fight. He did take a year off. He retired from the sport, attempted a rap career before coming back to the NFL. Sometimes I think like if anybody has anything going on off the field, we assume that they are like a locker room nuisance. Everywhere Darren Waller has played, there's been teammates that have stood up for him, right? There's been teammates that say, like, no, he's a great guy. Or, oh, no, he's a little different, but he's good, right? Like I don't think there's a culture issue there, especially at this point in his career. We've already complimented him on his maturity. I think he's somebody that can look at a culture, can look at a locker room and fit in rather than disrupt. The coach, how about his thoughts on Darren Waller? Dave Canales on what's the plan for Darren Waller right now.
Right now, it's just where's his base level of fitness at. He had a great day in RTP. We just started him that way, got him tired. 117 index today, so a perfect day for that. We need it. We're going to Jacksonville this week, so that's a phenomenal opportunity for us. And who knows, Chicago game 1 could be like this, just depending on what it is that week. So great reps for us, but getting Darren rolling, we'll get him a day to recover. We'll ramp it up a little bit more before we throw him out there in the mix.
Yeah, listen, I don't think you need a ton. He is not, first of all, no disrespect to him, he is not a blocking tight end. Okay, you need to have just enough curveballs, just enough tendency breakers where he's going to try to block. But as far as you're never going to get him to have great chemistry with your tackles because he's just not going to have enough reps, even if you do play him to do that. You're just going to try to get by. And you can gain the chemistry with Bryce in 7-on-7s and in routes on air and all those things. He mentioned it himself. There's injury concerns. I don't think you risk anything. If you play him in the preseason, it's 5 reps, 5 snaps, try to get him a catch, and that's it. If he's healthy week 1, winner. Like that, there you go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. You've done your job. I think you'd be cautious with him. So joint practices, preseason games. I mean, if he does play, I'll watch and I'll replay and I'll look at the routes and everything. But if he doesn't play, you will not hear me complain. So with that being said, we have some audio on Dave Canales being asked if Waller will take place in the joint practices with the Jacksonville Jaguars, which, by the way, will be very hot. Here's Dave Canales on Waller's role in the joint practices.
I don't think so. Not in that setting. It's a pretty combative type of deal, the joint practice. Chance that he goes out for Indy just to get he and Bryce throwing some and doing that. But we got to see how he recovers from the work today. We got after him pretty good today.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna play in joint practices, and he shouldn't. Like. Certain guys have proven themselves and also have proven to be a little fragile. And if you've proven yourself and you get hurt a lot, you don't play in joint practices. A lot of times joint practices, by the way, are even more physical than games because the refs don't have any real power. It's like you throw a flag. Ooh, joint practice flag. Ooh, scary. It's like, you're not going to find me. Like, there's nothing really they can do other than, like, hey, stop it.
Yeah,
so
the ball's right back on the 25.
Yeah.
Go figure.
No, coach actually wants me to get these practice reps, so you can't throw me out. Like, I'm here. So it gets more physical sometimes, which is a little nerve-wracking for a player. And by the way, not quarterbacks. Quarterbacks are never touched. They're their own species. But for everybody near the line of scrimmage, it can get aggressive. That's why there's more fights in joint practices. That is Football at 4, brought to you by John Hester, Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Lillington. Get off your keister and come to Hester. When we return, time for one of our favorite games. Figure out if we're copping or dropping coming up.
Having Kenty and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Shador is somebody that showed you some signs last year and that people are excited about. And yet you're bringing the past with Deshaun Watson back into the fold here. The only thing I can think is that they're thinking, let's just throw him out there. We're already paying him and try to lose as many games as possible in order to make sure that we secure the best possible draft position that we can.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Meinke's highly skilled and certified technicians always treat your car like it's their own. With over 50 years of experience, Meinke will diagnose and fix any issue with precision and care using the best state-of-the-art equipment. You can always depend on Meinke to do the job right and get you back on the road in no time. Save time and schedule an appointment now. Visit Meinke.com today. Trust your key with Meinke. Meinke, doing car care right.
You're listening to the Financial Safari News Network.
From Coach Pete's Money Desk, America's wealth coach and best-selling author, Coach Pete D'Arruda. Coach, what's a good example of how you build retirement plans to withstand extreme scenarios?
Imagine you retire on Friday with a nest egg you're very proud of. You worked very hard. You built it up over, let's say, 30, 40 years. But the very next Monday, now this is an extreme example, but it's not untrue, and it could happen. The market drops 20%. That means you only have 80% of what you had on Friday. You did nothing wrong, and a fifth of your future just walked out the door. Now, here's the hard truth that nobody told you on the way up. The rules that built your money are not the rules that protect your money. People are afraid to make decisions, even good ones, because they're afraid of what might happen based on their good decisions. So let's make sure you can map out your strategy before you flip a button and lose your money.
Call 888-456-7577, 888-456-7577, or text ZONE to 600-700.
Investment advisory services offered by Capital Financial Advisory Group, a North Carolina registered investment advisor.
From the people who brought you It's the Dog Park comes.
Is that a new bump on your dog's neck? Or is that bump just a part of his neck? Could be a bug bite or something way worse.
Protect your dog from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance.
Wait, there's another bump right by the first bump.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations. Coverage subject to policy terms.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Aggressive. I won't be ignored. Do you think this is what, like, Nate Shepard is listening to right now? Duke running back doesn't get put on the Doak Walker Award watch list, so he just starts putting on angry early 2000s I will not be ignored music.
I do respect. I love the fact that Duke football actually tweeted out, say, "Oh, our running backs not on the Doak Walker Award list? Well, here's 10 minutes of highlights."
Yep. Well, did you see what Nate Shepard posted?
No, I didn't.
So there's a legendary clip of Kobe in high school where I forget exactly what the other team said, but the reporter goes up to Kobe and he's in his like high school warm up. And the reporter says, hey, I was just in the other locker room, and they said, they're going to bottle you up. I forget exactly what they said, but some kind of trash talk. And he just, like, does a bunch of nodding and then goes, "We'll see." That's all. And Nate Shepard posted that gif of Kobe just going, "We'll see." That's all.
Okay. All right. There it is.
I don't have to address it all individually. I don't have to explain to you why it's a bad decision on their part. We'll see. That's all. Nate Shepherd should be on the Doak Walker Award watch list. That's pretty obvious. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Now that we have that settled, and I may litigate that 3 or 4 times today because it's fun when it's just so obviously a right answer. It's like I'm just going to be on the right side of history. Let me do it again. I may talk about Nate Shepherd and the Doak Walker Award watch list again later, but for now, I'm going to get out of the way and make room for Copper Drop.
You want true enlightenment? Well, I'm dropping.
Well, let's start right there with Nate Shepherd, Duke football. Copper Drop. Nate Shepherd rushes for over 1,300 yards this season. Copper Drop.
I thought you were going to hit me with like his total from last year, and I was going to take the over. I was going to cop.
Which is 1132, something around those lines?
Yeah, 11 something. 1,400 total yards. I think his volume will go up. I think they will lean on him heavily early in the year. And people forget, he wasn't the starter going into the year. He had to earn the spot with some big performances. I think early in the year they're going to have to lean on him because it's going to be a new quarterback. There's going to be some real growing pains. But also there's some offensive linemen. Brian Parker II, most notably, who's not on that roster. So the offense could be a tougher road to hoe for him, but I think he gets more volume. 1,300 is the number.
Rushing yards, yes.
I'll
include the bowl games.
Including bowl? I was just going to ask. Yeah, I'll cop. I think it's close. But yes, I think he does. I think he's that good. And also, I don't know if a lot of people know this. He was coming off a pretty good injury his senior year of high school. Now, he was like fully healthy and everything by the time the summer came around, but he hadn't played football in a while. So obviously this year he's coming off a good season, straight into a college weight room and conditioning program. I think he's gonna be set. So yeah, I'll cop it just by a little bit. 1,300's a lot.
Yeah, 1,132 rushing yards last season, but also there's no Anderson Castle there anymore. I was trying to remember who actually. I know Jaquez Moore was also there last year as well. So I don't know. There's Peyton Jones was also the other guy I was thinking of.
Peyton Jones, I believe, is on the list. He's on the Doak Walker Award watch list.
That's right, he is, isn't he?
There's a lot of like real explain the logic of this one.
Peyton Jones played 4 games last year, had 10 attempts, 34 yards, and a touchdown. Now, again, he got hurt, so, that's definitely a thing. But anyway, something to keep in mind. All right, let's stick with college football here in the Triangle. Cop or drop? Of the 3 teams here in the Triangle that play in the ACC, State, Duke, Carolina.
Okay.
2 of those teams will finish the regular season in the top 25. Cop or drop?
I have top 25 of the country?
Yeah. 2 of them.
I'm dropping.
No? Okay.
I think one will.
State?
If you made me pick one, I would say State, but State or Duke will.
Yeah.
The hard part is I don't know if you'd be in the top 25 if you lose to the other. You know what I mean? Like, whoever wins that matchup probably has a much better chance of being in the top 25. It's just the ACC. I mean, what do they think of 3? 4? I'm not saying what do they deserve. I'm saying what will they have? What will the voters allow them to have? What will the AP, what will the coaches poll allow them to have? I just don't know if the ACC is going to have 3-4 teams, maybe. Are 2 of them going to be from the state of North Carolina? Miami's probably one. Probably one out of Clemson, SMU. Like, you start eating them up pretty quickly. So I think I have to drop that.
All right, cop or drop. We'll stay with ACC football. Cop or drop. A player from the Triangle, State, Duke, or Carolina, will finish as a first-team All-American. Cop or drop?
All right. Who? Let's think of some of the nominees. Perhaps C.J. Bailey if he goes bananas. Maybe a Melkart Abu-Jaude if he has like 15 sacks.
It's possible.
10.5 last year for Carolina. If you're looking at Duke, I guess Nate Shepherd would be, he's not one of the 60 top running backs, but he could be the best running back. Make that make sense. There's some guys. First team All-American is tough. I'm not saying that it won't be deserved. I'm saying I don't think they'll get the love. I think most of a post, it'll be like 30% Ohio State, 20% Texas. And by the way, regardless of their records, it's there you go. There's 50% of it right there. I don't think the ACC gets the love that they deserve a lot of the time. So I will have to drop that reluctantly.
All right, next one here. We have the reports now that Billy Edwards Jr. will be the starting quarterback for UNC football. Cop or drop, barring injury obviously withstanding, but barring an injury, UNC will start multiple quarterbacks this season. Cop or drop?
I'm going to cop. Nothing against Billy Edwards Jr. It's an age thing. He's been in college football for a long time. I believe, although, things change as we've learned, I believe this is his last year of college eligibility until a court in California says he gets to play till he's 60. I believe it's his last year of eligibility. So, and I also don't think Carolina is going to be winning enough games. I think they're going to look for a shakeup at some point this year. And one of the easiest ways to shake up and build momentum moving forward is to bench a veteran quarterback with little eligibility left for a younger quarterback with more eligibility that you might be able to catapult into the next year. So I'm going to go ahead and guess. Even if he's playing solid, they probably try someone else at some point this year. If he's playing unbelievably, then maybe not, but I think it's a tough situation to walk right into and play unbelievably good. So I'll cop that they play at least 2.
All right, cop or drop. Let's actually shift focus to the NFL. Cop or drop. Darren Waller, newly acquired tight end for the Carolina Panthers. Darren Waller will catch at least 6 touchdowns this season. Cop or drop?
6 is a lot of touchdowns.
He had 6 last year in 9 games.
I don't know if I want to do anything the way Miami was doing it last year.
That's a good point.
He is a very, very good red zone threat. I still think I wish I could know, speaking of injuries, I wish I could know how healthy the offensive line is. If you tell me Robert Hunt and Damian Lewis are healthy most of the year, I think they're going to try to run for touchdowns down in the red zone and in the close goal zone. If you tell me that they're banged up and the offensive line isn't healthy, then I think they're going to have to be creative and work more jump ball situations, right? The fades, just get rid of it, get out of his hands, get it in the air. In which case, I think Darren Waller will be a huge part of it. I hope they go to Tedero McMillan more in the goal line because I think he's a touchdown scoring weapon as well that they didn't use as much as they should have last year. 6 feels rich to me. I'm gonna drop. When's the last time the Panthers had it's probably Greg Olsen or something, have a tight end score six touchdowns? That's a lot. So I will drop it. But I do think Darren Waller, even if he's not catching touchdowns, can have a huge impact as far as being a gravitational pull down there on the goal line.
So he's not getting 6.
I don't think he's getting 6.
All right, next one here. Cop or drop? Jonathan Brooks, Carolina Panthers running back, has 1,000 yards from scrimmage this season. Cop or drop? I said from scrimmage, not rushing yards, but from scrimmage. That's receiving and rushing.
Showed a little bit of his receiving chops in the preseason. 1,000. That's... See, now like, I want to be glass half full. I think for them to have a good year, meaning the team to have a good year, he probably needs to have 1,000. But also, that's such an unfair bar to set for a guy that hasn't played football in 2.5 years to go like, I need 1,100 yards out of you. It's like, well, I'm just trying to make sure I walk off the field every game. Meanwhile, you're over here demanding like impact player stats. And also, like, can I know if Chuba's playing? Because if Chuba's playing, I think he can eat up a lot of the boring yards, and you just need Jonathan Brooks for some of the splashier stuff. If he's not playing, I think you need Brooks to do both. I will drop reluctantly. I think he has it within him, But I don't know how much they're truly going to, like, unleash him. Like, I'll take over 1,000 from week 9 to next year, week 9. Like, if you give me that calendar year.
Aggregate, yeah.
If you give me that calendar year. But I think they're going to try, if Chuba's healthy, I think they are going to try to slow play Jonathan Brooks as much as they can early in the year. I mean, people hit the rookie wall when they're completely healthy just because, like, college seasons are shorter than pro seasons. He's trying to go college to taking a bunch of years off to pro. I don't know if you want to, floor it the entire time. He'll run out of gas.
So 1,000 yards over 17 games is 59 yards a game, essentially 60. So if you can run for 45 and catch 15 in a game.
Sounds easy. Right there, it's,
Like, come on, guys, not that hard.
It's like all the people online that tell you how to save enough money for a Lamborghini, and they're just like, just invest $200 a week, just $200 a week, and then you do that, and then the next year you're $400 a week, and then the next year you're $600 a week, and guess what? By the time you're 35, you're gonna have 2 Lamborghinis, and I'm going like, yeah, $600 a week, just throwing it into my investment account. Sure, it's like 59 doesn't sound like that much. Until you pick up 3 first downs and you tried your hardest and you were physical and you were picking up tiny yards and you had 30 yards. It's like, goodness gracious. So yeah, I'm dropping it, but mostly because I think they're going to slow play him.
All right, next one here, Copper Drop. We're 6 weeks away from the banner hanging up at the Lenovo Center for the Carolina Hurricanes, the Stanley Cup. Copper Drops. Again, we're 6 weeks away. Copper Drop. Within 4 weeks from today, basically when training camp starts for the Carolina Hurricanes, and within the next 4 weeks, Alexander Nikishin will have signed his contract, or have signed a contract with the Carolina Hurricanes. Copper Drop within 4 weeks, basically when training camp starts.
Yeah, I'm copping. I think there is a level of practicality with the Canes, which is like, well, we're not going to do it. We're going to wait as long until it starts interrupting things, right? Like, we'll play hardball until it starts, for lack of a better term, making Rod Brindamore mad. Off season, why do it now? Because you can do it tomorrow, right? Why give in now when you can make it last another day? But once you start getting to training camp and you're missing time on ice, I think they value that. I wouldn't even be surprised if they found some kind of equation that says X amount of time missed in training camp leads to X amount of a dip in production for the first month, or whatever that is. I think they value things that show up on the ice, and I think they're pretty practical with that kind of stuff. So I don't know what the number is. I've done back flips about what I think this Nikishin contract is going to be. Whether it's the bridge for this much, whether it's the long term, whether it's long term for this much, whether it's a trade. And I've made, I think, over this offseason, I think I'm on record predicting every single possible thing that could happen. So I'm going to be right regardless. But I've probably lost credibility on those predictions by predicting everything. So I'm not going to do so again. I do think it happens by, the main chunk of training camp, though.
All right, final one here, Copper Drop. Let's go back to ACC football. Copper Drop. The ACC will have 3 teams make the college football playoff. Copper Drop.
I'm copping.
All right.
It is, I think, a gift to the ACC. Not a gift like it's unearned, but just like it's a really positive thing that whoever wins the ACC championship gets to go. I also think where Miami is starting in a lot of these preseason polls is going to really help them. And I think there'll be a surprise. So I think whoever the 2 teams that play in the ACC championship, I believe, will go in. And I think one more team will go in. I think 3 is probably the right number, if we're being honest. I know not many will predict 3. They'll predict 2, and then we'll get mad about the 3rd. But I think the right move is to go 3, and I'm choosing to be optimistic that they will get to the right move. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Speaking of the ACC, I have a pretty interesting breakdown that I can give you regarding the ACC. And shout out to ESPN Insights for collecting the stats. I use this analogy a lot, right? Remember back in the day when you're filling out your March Madness bracket, back when like mid-majors could have veteran guards before every time that they flashed as underclassmen, they just got poached away by big schools. One of the tried and true methods filling out your bracket was to find just the backcourt at a group of 5 school or a mid-major school that had played together for 4 years. They had won like 2 conference championships in whatever conference, right? Give me the American junior and senior guards, and it was just there, right? You just knew it. Experience in the backcourt, won in March. I think experience is being, up until last year, and Indiana kind of figured it out, but experience in college football was being tremendously undervalued. And Indiana and Kurt Cignetti really looked around and I think played the best out of kind of the post-COVID era and just said, give me as many solid players that are old as heck, that have played a lot of football, put them on a football team, and I think it's going to go well for us, right? Because the amount of times last year, and Indiana, especially towards the end when I was trying to watch Fernando Mendoza because people were talking about him as an NFL guy, the amount of times I would be watching an Indiana game and somebody would make a play or like 3 or 4 plays, and they'd bring up the graphic and show that he was at a school that I watched the year before and did not remember that guy at all. But, after spending 4 years at Maryland, he's now here at Indiana. And I'm like, I watched Maryland a lot the last 4 years. Where was this really good dude? But it turns out if you're just like a 24-year-old grown person playing in college football, you're gonna at times just look better than everybody else. And if you've played 2 years as a starter at really anywhere in top-level college football, you're just going to be better equipped to deal with college football. So ESPN Insights put together a list, and they did it conference by conference. We're going to focus on the ACC, obviously. But it's just the number of snaps that everybody on your roster has played at the FBS and FCS level. So the 2 top levels of college football. Total snaps. North Carolina is dead last in the ACC. And for whatever reason, they included Notre Dame on the ACC list. I think they just needed to put them somewhere. So in a 17-team conference, somehow North Carolina is 18th on the rankings because they included Notre Dame. But North Carolina has 23,497 snaps at the top levels of college football on their roster right now. For reference, Virginia leads the conference. They have 48,313. Wake Forest is second, 39,000 and change. Louisville, SMU, third and fourth. Cal, Pittsburgh, 5th and 6th. Are you waiting for Duke and NC State? I can keep counting. Stanford, Florida State, 7th and 8th. There's Duke in 9th with just over 30,000 snaps. Then Virginia Tech, then Miami, then Georgia Tech, then Notre Dame, then Boston College, and then NC State. NC State's in 15th out of the 18 teams. If there is something that will make me tamp down my excitement or enthusiasm for state, that's it right there. That's it. They don't have a ton of guys that have played a lot of college football. And there's only so much that like talent can barrel through when one loss early on in the year can upend everything. Right? If this were college basketball, I wouldn't care as much. Ironically, based on the analogy I used to start this conversation. But I wouldn't care as much because you can lose 3 or 4 in the first month and still storm up the backside of your schedule and be really, really good by tournament time. In football, if you have new person jitters, if you have, I've never been in that situation, that's my bad, mistakes, and you lose a game you shouldn't at the beginning of the year, that could be curtains. That could be it. And that's, for lack of a better term, something that is done in NC State quite a bit. Remember Virginia Tech game last year? It's just like, what happened there? Why? But that's all it really takes sometimes. So I think I'm going to boost Wake Forest in my predictions a little bit here, and I think I'm going to have to knock down NC State, Clemson, and Carolina because they're all in the bottom 4 in the ACC. Louisville and SMU, as much as, like in the top tier of the ACC right now, there's Miami, there's Louisville, SMU. Some would put Clemson there. Some would put State there. Some would put Virginia there. The two that I have like just absolutely no feelings on are LSU or Louisville and SMU. I tried to mix them there. Louisville and SMU. I don't like them. I don't dislike them. They're not necessarily a rival that I am very, very upset with. They're just kind of there. I guess I have to boost them because they just have a lot of guys that have played college football.
I think it's also where your experience takes place as well. Like, for example, like SMU has a lot of guys with experience, and Kevin Jennings, their quarterback, is going to be starting for the 3rd straight year there. It's a lot of experience and a lot of snaps are your most vital position. That matters.
Yep, and also, like, CFP experience. Like, it's
that too.
The top level of experience, right? Not all of the experience is made the same, so we should acknowledge that. But I do think it was underrated for a long time. Like, you know how they play it up in the movie Moneyball, like on-base percentage is this thing that no one else was taking into account? I think Indiana kind of had that moment with just, like, age. Like, while everyone else was looking for speed and talent, Cignetti was looking for, like, yeah, we'll get to speed and talent, but how old are they? I want that grown man strength. And it worked out really, really well for him. So now it's something that I'm going to be paying attention to. Age, how many snaps have you played? How many mistakes have you made and corrected already on the field? I can, like, from personal experience, once I played my junior year, going in my senior year, it just felt, I don't want to say smaller, but it felt like you saw the big picture better. Right? You weren't, your heart rate wasn't going as fast. You were just kind of like, all right, no, I've been here. I know what this feels like. Let's go. And it does change things. It makes it easier. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It's a little insight for you. If you want those rankings, I believe David Hale had tweeted them out. ESPN Insights had tweeted them out. There's a few different places you can go find it. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Mainer Service Company. I've long thought about what the analytics of service companies would look like, and I think Mainer Service Company would lead the league in like WAR, or actually it'd be instead of WAR, it'd be FAR, like fixes above replacement. Their time from call to solution would be exceptional. Whether it's your heating system, your cooling system, this time of year, thinking of the cooling system a lot, plumbing or electrical work, you want somebody with the high stats. You want somebody with the good coaching. You want somebody with the elite training. Mainer Service Company has it all. And also the variety. You want the versatility is probably the better way to say that, where their technicians are highly trained in many, many different ways. And they're constantly working on it, right? I talked with the owner, Brett, over at Mainer Service Company. They have financial incentives. They will pay if you want to go get more certifications. If you're a technician and you want to get more training, they are interested in having the most prepared team and then using that team to help your house. Heating, cooling, plumbing, electric. Give them a call right now. Here's the phone number, 919-361-0993. That's 919-361-0993. Or visit them online at MainerServices.com. That's MAYNOR Services.com. It's been months since we heard new audio or new insight from the head coach of Carolina men's basketball, Michael Malone. He was on a podcast with John Rothstein and dropped some gems. We have the audio coming up next.
The Adam Gold Show.
I've been critical of Dave Canales ever since he became the head coach because I thought he never bought into Bryce Young. But the way he has talked about his quarterback so far in the preseason, the way he has praised his ability to slow the game down, makes me think Canales is on board and he thinks he's got something. And if Bryce Young can be great in the first half of games, I think the Panthers might have a really good year.
The Adam Gold Show, weekdays starting at noon on 99.9 The Fan.
When it comes to your roof, it's all about quality above with peace of mind below. Hi, this is Holly with RoofWorks. We're proud to be in our 20th year helping families and businesses keep the roof over their heads as economically as possible. We work on every type of roof, gutters, and skylights with quality repairs, maintenance, and replacements for your home, your business, and multifamily. We offer warranties with every new roof and financing options for homeowners, and we're now serving Southern Pines as well. Visit us to learn more at roofwerks.com.
For your tushy, it's made by angels. Soft and strong, budget friendly. The choice is simple. A roll that feels like paradise, and always at a heavenly price. Angel soft, soft and strong, so it's simple.
Pick up a pack today.
Angel soft, soft and strong, simple.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
The Drive, Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, 99.9 The Fan. When you're there, check out all the videos we have to offer. You can check out the live stream. Follow along with us in real time. But the most important thing you should do is subscribe while you're there. And then pass videos around to your friends. Send them to the group chat. Jump in the comment section. Do the whole thing. Get the full experience. 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. All right. Michael Malone, head coach, Carolina Tar Heels. It feels like it's sunk in, hasn't it? At first, it was kind of weird. It was first of all, as I like to say, prior to Michael Malone taking over for Carolina, their coaching staff was within the family, we'll call it, right? It was always, Hubert Davis played for Dean, coached under Roy, and then you could trace those two and their coaching lineages back to like James A. Naismith and like 4 coaches, right? Played for, there's Dean Smith. And it just kind of continued that way. So when they went outside the quote-unquote Carolina family and brought in Michael Malone, I think there was some like, all right, hold on, it's going to take me a while to get used to this. But now that it's settled in, Michael Malone actually kind of went quiet for a while, right? He was not out on every television show. He was not doing all the interviews. He was recruiting. You would see pictures of him at like certain AAU events, and he just kind of went about his business putting together a roster. Now that it appears the roster's mostly put together, perhaps he's going to start letting himself be out there a little bit more. So he went on with John Rothstein on his podcast, answered some questions, and we have some audio. Here's Michael Malone on why he took the UNC job, ready for this, despite turning it down 3 times. Here's Coach Malone.
I didn't come here because my daughter plays volleyball here. I've never been afraid of a challenge. Mm-hmm. And I grew up a Carolina fan. My father was a huge Dean Smith fan. And obviously, if my father loved Dean Smith, I was going to love Dean Smith. And so that was something that was taught to me at an early age. And when this job came open, and the more I thought about it, I could stay the course and try to become an NBA coach once again. We had tremendous success in Denver. We won a world championship in 2023, and I did not like how my tenure in Denver ended. I wanted to kind of get back. But what really kind of made the decision easier for me as I thought about it was I love and embrace the challenge. And North Carolina basketball presented an opportunity that very few people even have a chance to consider. And I did not want to have any regrets. Years down the road, I did not want to look back and say, I turned down an opportunity to coach one of the most prestigious basketball programs in the country.
John Rothstein, obviously CBS College Basketball Insider. There's the pod. That's a strange spin zone there from Michael Malone. He turned down the job 3 times. And then he talks about how incredible the opportunity is. I might downplay the fact that I turned it down 3 times if I were him. There's a joke amongst a family friend where, you know how like, I don't know, if you've been married a long time or if you just got married, it could be any point in a marriage. People go like, oh, how did you propose? Oh, give me the story. How did you propose? Well, the joke is that the gentleman, the groom, would say, I'll tell you how I proposed. I went like this. Fine, we'll get married. Doesn't that seem a little bit like how Michael Malone took the Carolina job? How did I take it? Well, I said, no. Fine, I'll take the job. It just doesn't seem like the romantic, like, hey, I live and breathe Carolina basketball that you'd want. Obviously, it doesn't matter how you get the job. It matters once you get the job. And obviously, you know, in the recruiting world, the narratives matter less now than the bottom line. So, you know, he hit it with the Godfather, like, you know, they made me an offer I can't refuse. Maybe he understands it doesn't matter what I say. It matters how much money I show up with for these top recruits. That's the thing that decides. So I don't have to play the game. I don't have to spin how it happened or meet cute. I don't have to do that. Right? I don't have to, you know, remember Bill Belichick's intro pressers and everything? Oh, my first words were beat Duke. Oh, here's an old jersey from my dad coaching here, or an old sweatshirt. Like it was all trying to make it seem like it was destined. Michael Malone's like, it's a legendary brand, super exciting, really excited to be coaching here. But yeah, I turned it down 3 times. Like I had to come around to it. It's interesting. Michael Malone on how his staff, which I thought this was interesting as well. They are keeping quite a few of the assistants under Hubert Davis, and they're also bringing in guys from around college basketball. Michael Malone, again, on Rothstein's podcast on how his staff is blending the past of UNC with fresh faces.
And the way I'm going to bridge that gap, and I think when I put together my staff, John, I did it with intent and purpose. And so keeping a guy like Sean May, who played here, was a lottery pick, won a national championship on my staff. Pat Sullivan played for the late, great Dean Smith, won a championship in 1993, a part of my coaching staff. I hired Deion Thompson and Brandon Robinson, both players that played here, but not only played here, they, like Pat Sullivan and Sean May, also won national championships here. A guy like Eric Hoots has been here for 20-plus years. So I found a way to keep that connection with the past and the tradition of excellence and winning, while also hiring guys like Chuck Martin, a dear, close friend of mine for the last 30 years, to come in and be my associate head coach, to bring in a guy like Brian Tabaldi from Providence College, who has NBA experience as well, and Jorge Sands, who I just hired, who was working for Hall of Fame coach Mark Few at Gonzaga, and Jorge brings an international background, being from Spain originally. So I feel we've done a really good job as I put together this staff, connecting to the past, but bringing in some new ideas and people from the outside as well.
Yeah, I think that's smart. And more importantly than whether they were with Carolina or not, more importantly than whether they won national championships with Carolina or not, it's a lot of college basketball experience on that staff. It's a lot of people that have been around the college world. They've been recruiting college basketball players. They've been putting together college basketball teams. They know how to talk to college basketball recruits. And I'm putting an emphasis on college because for all of the basketball Michael Malone knows, a lot of it is NBA. Maybe all of it. You'd have to go way back to when he was in the college world. He needs guys that know how to relate, and how to coach college players, and that's where the blending can happen. I don't need him to blend like his scheme. I need him to blend his teaching styles. What works with a 28-year-old who's playing on a contract year may not work for the 19-year-old who's trying to play to impress the NBA. More audio from Michael Malone with John Rothstein of CBS. What does Michael Malone want to show in year one with the Carolina Tar Heels? Here's Michael Malone.
Yeah, well, this may sound corny, but it's something that I truly believe in. I told our players this the day I got the job. I reminded them last night at our team meeting. Goal number one is not to win a championship, because every team says that. If you're serious about that, your first goal is always going to be, we have to find a way to get better every day. Mm-hmm. And that might be in a conditioning, weight room, player development session. That might be in a practice and a shoot around, in a film session, whatever it may be. We have to find a way as a program to get a win every day and to get better. And if you do that, and that's going to be shown in your everyday actions, if you do that, then you'll have a chance come NCAA tournament time to be a team that can compete and maybe get to a Final Four. So that's number one. Can we get better every day? The second thing is I want our guys to buy in to our style of play and our identity and how we want to play. And so, like I said, regardless of the result, I want our fans to walk out of the Dean Smith Center every night and say, you know what? They played hard. They played with toughness. They played together.
Now he's starting to sound like a college basketball coach. 1% better every day. Identity, buzzwords. He was halfway to getting us an acronym. He was halfway to saying we need to play like Tar Heels. Tough, aggressive, responsible. Like he was halfway there. He was halfway there.
Tough, aggressive, responsible, hustle.
Yeah, there you go. Hustle, energy. Then there's always one that doesn't make sense. It's like, even though the times are tough, you need to be tougher. It's like that's a whole sentence there, Coach.
Effort and enthusiasm.
That's a college coach if I've ever heard one. I just can't imagine him sitting in front of MVP Jokic, Jamal Murray off a great run at the Olympics, and he's sitting there going like, we're just going to get 1% better every day, guys. No, you're sitting there saying like, hey, we're going to win an NBA championship. We're going to do a great – but in college – boy, you break out the core values, right? First page of the playbook, fellas. It's all about the core values. That's the college coach of Michael Malone coming out, and I like it. 1% better every day. Yeah, 1% better. Do the math. 1% better every day for a year. Watch out now. I always like to ask him, what if your opponents are getting 2% better every day? That's it. 3% better every day. Put in the extra work, fellas. It's all just numbers. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Once again, that was from the John Rothstein's podcast for CBS Sports. Michael Malone talking for the first time in a while. By the way, Keon Seta, and I apologize if I'm mispronouncing that. I've heard it pronounced a bunch of different ways on YouTube. Eventually, he is going to talk for Carolina, and I'll be able to catch it from a Carolina like a piece of media. But they're very, very talented, very, very young center from Spain, right? He was playing for Barcelona. He had visa issues getting over, his student visa issues getting over. He had them completely taken care of, and he is in North America. Speaking of pictures, there were pictures of Michael Malone and staff picking him up at the airport. So he's here. There was a little bit of worry about that, cool. But I'm obviously, like, for his future, whatever he wants to do, I'm hoping he gets to do it. So the fact that he's here is great. But also, selfishly, I've seen some highlights of that guy from Barcelona. I want to see him playing in the ACC. He looks like a very, very intriguing prospect. So looks like all of that is set to go for Carolina. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is almost time for the starting five. But first, Dennis Cox has a message he'd like you to hear.
Hey, folks, Dennis Cox here real quick for my friends over at Loan Pronto. If you have a 2%, 3%, or 4% mortgage rate, don't refinance it. You don't have to, but you can still get cash out of your home. Introducing Loan Pronto's zero-cost equity loan. That's right. With Loan Pronto, you can get all the cash you need without touching your first mortgage and without any fees. One local homeowner just got $100,000 approved. They paid off all their credit cards, they paid off their existing HELOC, remodeled their kitchen, and they saved over $1,500 per month. And here's the best part, folks. They didn't have to pay any fees, no closing costs. Give Loan Pronto a call, 919. Sorry, I just lost my computer just shut down on me, Tim. Don't worry, folks. Visit loanpronto.com.
Just vibe.
Just
there
loanpronto.com. Loanpronto.com. You can visit their website. Here we go. It's back up, folks. This is what happens in live radio, folks. But if you don't have to worry about any of this kind of mess, you give Loan Pronto a call at 919-381-1760. That's 919-381-1760. Loanpronto.com. Don't deal with any of the mess in refinancing your mortgage, just like the mess I had to deal with, folks. Give Loan Pronto a call, 919-381-1760, or visit loanpronto.com. For qualifying homeowners, equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's a way to fight through adversity and control what you can control.
Exactly. Starting 1% better, baby.
1% better. The starting five is up next right here on The Drive.
Adam.
I'm Adam Gold, and I'm there.
Tim.
I'm Tim Donnelly, and I'm there.
Dennis.
I'm Dennis Cox, and I'm there.
Victoria.
I'm Victoria Bodenecker, and I'm there.
Paul.
I'm Paul Eihander, and I'm there too.
You'll find them all here on the brand new 99.9 The Fan app. To work, to school, the beach, the mountains, the arena, take The Fan with you wherever you go. Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
Is your heating and air system ready for the warmer weather? Call Newman Company to ensure your system is running at peak performance. As a Comfort Contract customer, you'll get priority service and a 15% discount on all HVAC and plumbing service calls and repairs. Newman Company, your Carrier factory authorized dealer, has proudly served our community for more than 70 years, delivering reliable comfort and peace of mind. Call 919-862-3000 or visit newcomencompany.com. Newman Company, your comfort is our business.
Hey, what do you say? John Forsland here for my friends at Buffalo Brothers. My favorite place to go in the Triangle for the best wings on the planet. How about this special? Every Monday, half-priced wings all day. Dine-in only. Now that's a deal, baby. Everything on the menu is amazing. Pizza, apps, and always great drink specials. Visit any of their 5 Triangle locations and their pet-friendly patio, too. Online, buffbrothers.com. Aw, man, now I want wings.
Hello, I'm John Hester for the Hester Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a Go-See. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Hester to you.
I'm attorney Brian Ritchie. Big truck accidents can cause life-changing injuries, and life-changing injuries deserve life-changing money. I know big truck wrecks, and I know how to fight those big insurance companies. If you've been hurt by a big truck, contact us at ritchielaw.com. I'm on top of it.
Broadcasting live from the Eagle Leasing Storage Studio. WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. 99.9 The Fan. The Triangle Sports Leader.
Hey, it's the weather.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Kat Campbell. Tonight we'll see partly cloudy skies starting mostly clear. Lows dip into the mid-70s. Wednesday we're back in the mid-90s. It's another hot, humid day out there, but storm chances are low at 20%. Thursday we're up to 97 again.
Five o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones at the closing bell today down 116 points to 53,343. Market update brought to you by Allstar Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting five.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly here on 99.9 The Fan. It is 5 o'clock, and that means it is time for the starting five, brought to you by Baker Home Exteriors. We do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. That's the Baker name, Baker Home Exteriors. BakerHomeExteriors.com. And as always, the starting five starts with number 5.
Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Can't do 5.
Can't do 5?
No, can't do 5. Gotta respect Jaden Daniels.
I see what you did there. But he's getting, we talked about it yesterday, he's getting roasted by just everyone on the internet.
As he should be.
There is, the jokes are funny. I'll leave it there. The jokes, they're funny. Latest NFL news, other than Jaden Daniels getting roasted. How about this? Roger Goodell told a German media outlet that there is no doubt that an NFL team will be outside of the United States. That there will be teams going to other countries. No doubt.
Now, I'm curious, will this be expansion or relocation?
I would imagine expansion. That was how I took it. But I guess, which team would, I guess Jacksonville to London is kind of always thought of. I want to know if he was talking like, are we talking another country, like another continent? Or are we talking like Toronto? There's a big difference there, right? Because just travel and everything. Like, we can do the Raptors, right? We got the Blue Jays. Like, we've seen it. Obviously, Canada, a whole bunch up there for the NHL. London becomes more difficult, right? Then you got to start doing like 8 home games in London, so you don't have to travel every week, and then 9 away games, and have like a home base in the United States where you hang out for those last 9 games. But it's kind of cool.
It's the idea of it is, but there's so much logistical stuff that goes into it, not just from travel, but let's say I want to make a trade during the season. I got to get a work visa for a player to maybe I want to trade them to London or acquire them. Like, how is that whole process going to work?
Yeah, do we just have? See, this is where like
so you got to get visas.
No,
like,
but I'm saying like if you're traded to Ottawa in the NHL. Do we just have like a cool relationship with Canada where we're just like, hey, slide that visa quickly?
Well, usually teams, when they sign players, they get their visas and all that kind of stuff to be able to play up there in Canada because it's technically you are working. So it's something that's like stamped in their passport.
But we have
it's stamped in their
cooler
passport.
relationship with them.
Yeah.
That makes sense. More NFL news. North Carolina native Keenan Allen signed to the Colts. That's interesting because I think that's kind of an acknowledgement for the Colts that perhaps Alec Pierce may not be ready as early as they were hoping. Obviously, Josh Downs, former Carolina Tar Heel, is up there and is ready for a breakout season, but you need to have more than that. They have Tyler Warren. They have Jonathan Taylor. Like, they have options, but bringing in Keenan Allen at this point tells me they looked around and went, need more. Offense isn't going to get it done. Need more. And he's also somebody, I think his game, like, obviously he's not going to be like peak Keenan Allen like we saw back in the day with Phillip Rivers getting 1 billion yards. But I think he could have like 650 yards a season forever, right? Like, it's like a 3-point, like a guy who's explosive who becomes a 3-point shooter later in his career. And it's just like, oh yeah, you can space the floor forever. His route running and his knowledge of the game, I think he could get like 680 yards a season until he's in a wheelchair. So not a bad move by the Colts. And then last bit of news, Jordan Tyson, one of the top drafted wide receivers, they're expecting to be out 2 months with a hamstring. 2 months. Plays for the Saints, so this is important for the Panthers as far as divisional go.
Yeah, I want to say that puts them right around the time of when the Saints and Panthers first play.
I'll tell you right now, I get nervous when people have like 2-week, 3-week, 4-week hamstrings. If you're already able to tell me it's a 2-month hamstring and it only happened a couple of days ago, I don't know what's going on there. That's a serious one, and that makes me very, very nervous if I were a fan of the Saints for re-aggravations and everything else. I don't know about that one. 2 months with a hammy for a rookie that really hasn't practiced much because he was out with soft tissue injuries most of the offseason. All right, that's just the smattering of NFL news for number Jaden Daniels in the starting Jaden Daniels. Let's go ahead and jump to number 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, all together.
Trimble, Haynes in the air. Take that, Dayton. We're first in flight. Trimble bangs it in for 2.
The good old rivalry between Ohio and North Carolina for the first in flight. We told you earlier, we played some of the audio. Michael Malone, head coach, Carolina basketball, for the first time in a while, public comments. And he was on John Rothstein's podcast, CBS Sports Insider. And there's one more piece of audio that we didn't get to. We wanted time for it, so here it is in the starting 5. Michael Malone on building culture within his program in such a short period of time.
I think the greatest challenge, not only for me, but I imagine for every college head coach, is how do you build team? There's only 5 returning players from my team last year, 3 scholarship players from last year's team. That's 11 new players. So in a short period of time, how do you as a coach help foster an environment where it's not about NIL money, it's not about how much is he making, how much am I making? Leave that at the door. If we want to win big, if we want to win at the highest level and be in Detroit for the Final Four, we have to find a way to build team. And as a coach, you can never spend enough time working on that, getting guys to buy into something much bigger than themselves. And that's a big part of the culture we're trying to create here, being selfless in everything that you do. And that's something that I have to make sure I am instilling and demanding from our players every single day. And that's something I think our players are fully aware of.
I once had a conversation with a coach that was taking over a program, and we went deep into how to build a culture and the difference between building a culture and sustaining a culture. And the way they put it to me, and I've never coached anything but 4-year-old soccer, so I do not have experience coaching. But the way he described it to me was, when you're building a culture, you can only pick people that are the culture, kind of. Like, if you want everybody to work hard, then when you assemble your team, you have to acquire 100% hard workers, right? If you want a culture of selflessness and sacrifice, then you have to assemble a team and a coaching staff where everybody is selfless and sacrifices. Once you get it going, once your culture is in place, it no longer has to be 100%, right? Because then your culture will transform the people that join your program. Your culture is set. So when somebody new shows up, maybe they haven't had to work that hard. But if you throw them into a culture of hard work, it'll transform them. So basically what we settled on, and by we, I mean, I just listened while he talked to me. What he settled on was the people you pick for your first team, your first recruiting class, your first coaching staff, when you take over a program, are wildly important. You cannot miss from personality standpoint. Once you have it cranking, then you can take some chances. Then you can go, well, I don't know if this guy really fits our culture, but boy, is he fast. You can take those chances and trust your culture to bring along the fast guy and make him one of you. So looking at Carolina, right, must feel confident in the players that they picked. Must feel confident in the people they've brought into their program and the ones that have remained. Because if you're not, your culture's not going to take. Just one way to look at it. Obviously, he would know more than I would. He's been coaching a lot longer than I have. Again, four-year-old soccer. Although I am moving up to 5-year-olds soccer pretty soon, so I did get the call up. Pretty stoked about it, right?
Congrats, sir.
Thank you. Saturdays, you'll see me at the field. Don't be late. We're running laps. Next up on the starting 5. Can you imagine if I gave the culture speech first day to a bunch of 5-year-olds? We're going to be a culture of sacrifice. We're going to be the orange team. O for outrageous effort. R for no, I'm not going to do that.
Relentless hustle.
Yeah.
A for attitude.
Mostly I'm going to just say the word fun a bunch of times and kick a ball around. That is number 4. Let's get to number 3.
Bailey, waist-high snap. Lofts it, left side of the end zone. Touchdown, NC State. C.J. Bailey waits, surveys the landscape, and fires a dart to Terrell Anderson.
NC State football is doing something that I have never seen in football. They announced their captains earlier today. Quarterback C.J. Bailey, running back Duke Scott, linebackers Popo Aguirre, as well as A.J. Anderson, both linebackers, and cornerback Brian Nelson II. Those are your captains. They will rotate who goes out there for coin tosses. I believe you're allowed to have 4. So those are your captains. They also named, and this is what I've never seen before, 3 assistant captains. Receiver Keenan Jackson, offensive guard Kamen Smith, and defensive tackle Isaiah Shirley. I don't necessarily hate the move, right? Because I do think, a football team, what's the roster limit now? I think it's 105.
105.
105 people. You probably need more than 5 leaders, which you always had, but you just wouldn't officially recognize them. Maybe this is a way to officially recognize guys that are pulling that weight a little bit. But also, maybe there's some transition. This is going to be the weirdest analogy I use today. One of my high schools had a gigantic carnival that we threw every year. And I want to be very clear on this. However big you think the carnival is, at least twice that size. It was like a statewide everybody would show up thing. It was basically an amusement park, but it was a carnival. There were full-out performances. It was wild. They had booths that the junior class ran the carnival, which really means the junior parents ran the carnival. So your sophomore year, you would be assigned a booth, right? You would be assigned whatever you're going to do, and you would have to go shadow that booth the entire carnival, and then the whole next year, you would be the leader of it. And it was just a transition, right? So whoever the junior class was, they would be doing their thing. Sophomore class would be the understudy. And then when the junior class moved on, you became the headliner and somebody else was understudying you. Captains are one of those things that they just kind of leave and you put someone new in there, but they don't have any experience doing it. So perhaps assistant captain, perhaps an underclassman, maybe someone who you think is going to be a big-time leader the next year, and they kind of get a taste of it. They see how it works. They're in the meetings when coach says, hey, captains, hang back after practice. It's just something I never thought of. Credit to Dave Dorn for being a little innovative. Brian Murphy, our colleague over at WRAL, did write an article about all the leadership work that NC State's been doing this offseason. I'll give you some of it. More than 20 players on the program's Leadership Council are being trained to be leaders by Mike Irwin, a 46-year-old West Point graduate who served 3 combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan during 13 years in active duty and is now a lieutenant colonel in the Army Reserves living in Moore County. If he's telling you to have 3 assistant captains, I think you go, yes, sir, and you have 3 assistant captains. Irwin was quoted, I thought this was interesting. The culture they've built for this year especially is impressive. The only leadership council that I felt more confident about was last year's men's soccer team. If you don't remember, NC State's men's soccer made it to the national championship last year. So, turns out leadership might really help in team sports. Who would have thought? That's number 3. Let's jump to number 2.
Just the two of us.
Lopez in the pistol with Hood behind him. He will hand to him. Hood right side. Slithers through and powers home. Touchdown, Carolina. What a start for Belichick in the heel.
And then the wheels fell off. It is funny. We've talked about Carolina football a lot this offseason. Just they're our magnet for conversation. I think we play a highlight from the first drive of the first game against TCU every time, because that's where all the highlights lived. There really weren't many others to choose from. Maybe Billy Edwards Jr. will change that. Earlier today, Pete Thamel, ESPN, he was first on it as far as I saw, reported that Billy Edwards Jr. will be North Carolina's starting quarterback. I have to give Bill Belichick and that coaching staff, Bobby Petrino, the offensive coordinator, I have to give them some credit. Not for picking Billy Edwards Jr., although I get why they did. He is the most veteran. He is the most experienced, and I think this team is going to need a steady hand at the wheel. But the reason why I give them credit is this screamed, oh, they're going to drag it out and make it really difficult on whoever's going to be the starter, right? They kept telling us there was no leader in the clubhouse. They kept telling us it was a 4-man race. They kept telling us nobody had edged ahead in the starting quarterback battle. They kept telling us that. And what that made me think was they were going to keep giving reps with the first team to everybody until like 2 days before the first game. And then because of that, whoever won the battle wasn't going to be prepared for week 1. If we're being real, 11 days? That's pretty good for finishing there's 11 days until game 1. That's pretty good for finishing a competition in training camp. You probably got through a couple scrimmages, which are important in those position battles, and you saw what you needed to see, and you didn't dilly-dally. Being decisive in that situation is pretty important because now Bobby Petrino and Billy Edwards Jr. can get to work on, all right, how do we customize this around your skill set? How do we let you break in the offense a little bit? Let's make it feel like a well-worn hoodie. What do you like? What do you not like? What do we need to work on? Receivers, how do you want me to run this route? Do you want me to speed cut? Do you want me to sell the in? Like you can do everything. So Billy Edwards Jr., he's going to be the guy in Dublin. That's where they open their season against TCU, week 0, 11 days from now. He'll be the first one out there. Dennis, I'm gonna throw a copper drop in your direction.
Go on.
Because earlier today you copper dropped me on when we played Copper Drop earlier today. You can go find it on the YouTube live stream. Scroll back in the live. But you asked me if I thought that they would play at least 2 quarterbacks this year. Do you think Billy Edwards Jr. is the starter for the season for Carolina, or is this the quintessential coach thing, which is he is the starter right now, which means he could be benched tomorrow, and I didn't lie to you because he was the starter right then at that moment, and that doesn't mean anything about the future?
I'm inclined to say the latter.
Okay.
I really think that's going to be the case. I just have a feeling that once we get to past those first 4 or 5 games of the season, if the offense just isn't moving, they're going to turn to someone else. I don't see why not. I just don't see why they wouldn't do it.
I think it's going to be a tough season for the Carolina offense. I like Damon June. I like Jordan Shipp. I saw, I think it was a game I watched of last year or 2 years ago for him at Maryland. I like I'm not wowed, but I don't think he's like a bad quarterback either for Billy Edwards Jr. None of the other guys that were in the quarterback competition had much of anything on film from college. So there's just a lot of up in the air for Carolina right now, which is why I think you start with the veteran. You try to get the steadying presence out there. If things go awry, I think he'll be a little bit better equipped to handle it. And then, maybe once some of the ammunition isn't pointed at you anymore, you can go to another one of those younger players and let them get some run. That's number 2. How about number 1?
Go 1! Out of a heavy set. Bryce the snap. Give to Chuba. Off the right side. Plows through a defender. Touchdown! Carolina takes its first lead. 23-20. 14:34 to go. And I'll tell you what.
So there's no Carolina Panthers practice today. It is a travel day. They have joint practices with the Jacksonville Jaguars starting tomorrow. So the reports out of tomorrow's practice will be really exciting, right? 1-on-1, 7-on-7, goal line, red zone, everything that you do when it's against another team becomes more insightful. Little bit of insight. Haynes King will not be playing this week, still dealing with the hammy. Jasim Reed, who has scored a touchdown in each of the first 2 preseason games, he did not practice today with a calf injury. Will Lee, the rookie corner, who some believe was going to get some run on the outside so J.C. Horn could bump inside when they go to their more heavy defensive back groupings. He did not practice today with a groin. Cam Gill, the UFL Defensive Player of the Year, who had some nice pressure in the game against Buffalo. He was sidelined today as well with a shoulder. Yesterday. I just said they don't practice today. Their most recent practice. So I wouldn't be surprised if those guys are limited or perhaps held out of the joint practices, which is a bummer because all three of them are definitely players I want to see go up against another team as often as possible because I still think they're trying to prove themselves, and in some case they're trying to earn a roster spot. So those four not expected, or at least didn't practice yesterday, and Haynes King not expected to play this week. Just some quick updates for you there. Dennis just whispered in my ear, starters. What is that?
Well, Dave Canales did talk about his starters are going to play in the preseason game on Friday as well.
Starters are. Yeah, okay. I was going over the players that weren't, and then we can get to the starters. But we can hear from Dave Canales. How about it? Will starters play in preseason game? What do we call this? Preseason week 2. That's what I'll call it. Will starters play in preseason week 2 for the Panthers?
The joint practice, they're gonna get a good load. We've been working with Coach Cohen, Shane Waldron, one of my friends from Seattle. We've been going back and forth, just making sure we have throw a great practice and hit some different situations. So, and then the plan is to play them all in the game too. And then of course it just depends on how we come out of today, how we come out of tomorrow to see where guys are at.
I like that the coaches are friends. I like that. The joint practices usually there's some kind of relationship there. But like I said earlier, joint practice referees have no power. They're there like just practicing as well. So you need to have somebody with a whistle on the other team that the other team takes seriously that can keep your guys safe out of respect. So you like that. I'm a big fan of joint practices. I'm a big fan of joint practices. If you asked me if I could have joint practices or preseason games and I'm a coach, I'm taking joint practices every single time. I can guarantee you that you'll be in the situations I want to test you in a joint practice. I cannot guarantee they will happen in preseason. If I want to see Kenny Pickett in a 2-minute drill, guess what I can do? Hey, coach, fifth period, let's do 2-minute drills. And then I'll put 1:45 up on the clock, and I'll put the ball on our own 25-yard line, and I'll say, we're going to get a 2-minute drill against another team. And the competitive nature will be there because NFL athletes are crazy competitors. And it'll be much better. If you don't get a 2-minute drill in a preseason game, you just don't get a 2-minute drill in a preseason game. So I would go, and also I can protect my quarterback. I can have him get live reps for everybody except my quarterback, which I like quite a bit because I saw Jackson Dart get absolutely drilled in the chest in a preseason game because Tyrone Tracy decided to take a really wide angle on the guy he was supposed to block rather than protecting the inside gap. And Jackson Dart got lit up. I would love to have that exact play so I can teach Tyrone Tracy everything he did wrong, but also have a whistle going, whistle, don't touch my quarterback, so Jackson Dart isn't in the blue tent. Like, that's what a joint practice does for you.
So I'm thinking of the preseason games because obviously there's the flow of getting guys in from the sideline, calling in through a headset and all those kinds of things. I'm surprised that we don't have in these preseason games, like, for example, Jacksonville and Carolina, that Liam Cohen and Dave Canales sit there just go, hey, third possession for each team, 2-minute drill. Like, let's just do it. Like, why not? Like, why not do it that way?
Yeah, I mean, it's innovative. I just think.
Why not?
Because it would be really, like, if you have it would be a different clock and everything. You'd have to just
but like to say, hey, we're going 2-minute drill.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're going to treat this as 2-minute. Okay, cool. Our defense is going to do it the exact same thing. Like, why not? Just, hey, we're going to treat it that way. Who cares what the clock says? It's a preseason game. Who gives a damn?
No, I agree with you. I think it would be confusing.
But I think if guys just know, hey, we're just going in. Hey, third drive.
Like, hey, we're gonna take a timeout with 3 minutes left. Like, we're gonna take a timeout with 8 minutes left, and we have to score by 6 minutes left.
Exactly.
Type of thing. Yeah. Like, I could see that.
Third drive. This is what we're doing.
Yeah, maybe.
Why not do that?
Maybe. Because you have joint practices for that. You can. I know, but you can do it.
It's still a practice.
Yeah, I just think, and also like, I think the control that coaches have is nice. I don't think you'll ever have that kind of control at a preseason game because it's just a different beast. Either way, they're going to play. They're going to do the preseason joint practice thing. The Panthers are all going to be there, and the healthy ones will be out there mixing it up. And I'm looking forward to the reports out of practice tomorrow. It's going to be hot because it's Jacksonville and it's August. So good luck to you. Hopefully they're hydrating. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Actually, now I've done that. I don't want to leave you hanging. The Baker family has roofed the Carolinas since 1915. I'll tell you something right after this. Baker Home Exteriors, roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Always good work. BakerHomeExteriors.com. So in my fury of missing Nate Shepard not being on the Doak Walker Award watch list, that list has lost all integrity for me. Because guess who else is not on the top 60 running backs? They have 60 names on the Doak Walker Award watch list, which goes to the best running back in the NFL, or sorry, in the country in college football. Isaac Brown, Louisville, also not on the list.
Isn't?
Because I'm complaining about Nate Shepard a ton because we covered Duke, and everybody on Twitter is hitting me up going, "You'll never guess who else isn't on the list."
Oh, he's not.
As soon as I saw Nate Shepard wasn't on the list, I just saw red like a bull and didn't notice anything else. Isaac Shepard, now I'm mixing the two. Isaac Brown and Nate Shepard not being on the list it makes the list like I'm no longer mad. It's not even a list. It's not even a thing. It's somebody that doesn't watch football. It's AI slop. It's however you want to describe it. It's terrible. I'm no longer mad. Do
you know that 3 running backs with NC State ties are on the list? Kendrick Raphael, who's now at SMU, who played at Cal last year.
Hollywood Smothers,
who's now at Texas, and Duke Scott.
And Duke Scott. All right. Yeah, that tracks. Peyton Jones, who played with Duke and was a less effective running back than Nate Shepard. He's at Liberty and is one of 3 running backs at Liberty that are on the Doak Walker Award watch list. And guess what? Liberty's best running back from last year is at Boston College. So, every running back who's anybody got on this list except for maybe the 2 best running backs in the ACC in Nate Shepard and Isaac Brown. Riddle me that.
Mark Fletcher's on there from Miami, at least.
Correct. That's why I said
as
maybe. That's why I said maybe
as
the 2 best. No, there's a lot. There's a lot on the list that are deserving, but there's enough that are very deserving that aren't on the list that waters down the honor of the ones that are on the list that are deserving. Because it's obvious someone doesn't know running backs that put together the list.
I don't get how Liberty has 3 running backs on the list. Liberty better run for 4,000 yards this season.
I'm putting together.
They better.
I'm putting together a list of the best receivers of all time. Jerry Rice is on there, but Randy Moss and Terrell Owens aren't. It's like, your list is fraudulent. It's not a good list. All right. We do need numbers game contestants. I had to get that on. As soon as I saw people were telling me Isaac Brown wasn't on there, I couldn't help myself. We do need numbers game contestants. So call in now, 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game and potentially win a pair of tickets to see the Jonas Brothers at the Lenovo Center on October 1st. The Joe Bros, as they've been called. What was the song we were talking about? Max gave the Year 3000. If you want to see the Year 3000 performed live by the Jonas Brothers, you got to win the numbers game. Call it in, 919-860-5326 for your chance to compete in the numbers game and maybe see the Jonas Brothers. Again, 919-860-5326. Numbers game next.
Evan, Kenty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
Shador is somebody that showed you some signs last year and that people are excited about. And yet you're bringing the past with Deshaun Watson back into the fold here. The only thing I can think is that they're thinking, let's just throw him out there. We're already paying him and try to lose as many games as possible in order to make sure that we secure the best possible draft position that we can.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
Plenty of companies will sell you a new roof. Fewer will tell you if you actually need one. Since 1915, people across the Carolinas have trusted the Baker name to do right by their homes. Baker Home Exteriors now does roofing, siding, windows, and doors, and always honest advice. The motto puts it plainly: we shall do good work, at a profit if we can, at a loss if we must, but always good work. Trust the team that's earned it for over 100 years. Baker Home Exteriors. Visit BakerHomeExteriors.com.
With over $110 million in total prizes, new scratch-offs from the North Carolina Education Lottery are dazzling the crowd. Get quick wins from Hit 50, cash, Loteria Grande, and the Star. Massive cash blowout, bursting with $150, $300, and $3,000 prizes. Play and watch your luck shine. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds to win range from 1 in 3.86 to 9.37. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Everyone is talking about the shots, but fewer people are talking about the cost, side effects, plateaus, or what comes next. I'm Dr. Craig McGiffin with Raleigh Weight Loss Center. If you started injections and now want a sustainable next step, our program is built for exactly that. We combine real food guidance, one-on-one coaching, and targeted nutraceuticals to help support a healthy metabolism, preserve lean muscle, and keep progress moving. We use a proprietary system that has helped over 100,000 people nationwide lose the weight, and many clients have seen major results without staying dependent on injections long-term.
Hey, this is Dennis from 99.9 The Fan. Summer is ending, and now is the time to prioritize yourself. Get your confidence back and set your long-term health goals. Raleigh Weight Loss Center. Schedule your free 15-minute phone consultation with Raleigh Weight Loss Center and see if their program is right for you. Schedule today by calling 919-897-7506. That's 919-897-7506 or online at RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. RaleighWeightLossCenter.com. Results may vary.
Football season is back, and there's no better place to watch it than the Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex. College football Saturdays bring $4 hard seltzers and $3.75 Miller Lite pints. Then it's NFL Sundays with $1 off New Belgium pints all season. Pick all the winners of the 1 o'clock games, and you could score a New Belgium prize pack and a Dugout gift card. Brunch starts at 10 a.m. all weekend. After the game, check out the brand new dart area and join a team. Dugout Tavern and Grill in Apex is your football headquarters.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. It is time to play the numbers game. As always, we'll bring each of our contestants onto the show. They will answer the same question. Dennis will be our judge. He'll pick his favorite answer. That person will get to go first, and we will go from there. Hopefully that made sense. Our contestants for today are Micah in Morrisville and Sean in Youngsville. Micah in Morrisville was so mad yesterday that somebody guessed Rod Brindamore. Oh, Dennis, you weren't here. Let me tell this quick story. And we're not making fun of the contestant. It gets crazy when the clock is ticking and you're live on air. Somebody picked Canes, and I forget even who the first name was. First guess, and it wasn't Rod Brindamore. 17! And Micah was furious in the YouTube comments. Ended up getting an offer. Just threw 17 out there. Guessed 24 at one point, and it wasn't Jarvis. Like they were just running through it. It was a real brain freeze situation.
I heard we had a double offer yesterday.
A double offer. Cool. And not the prettiest. By the way, the person that guessed Rod Brindamore's number for not Rod Brindamore ended up winning on a double offer tie.
Wow, go figure.
Yeah, it was one of those days. Either way, we have Micah in Morrisville. We have Sean in Youngsville. They'll be competing for the Jonas Brothers tickets. Let's go ahead and bring each of them on, ask a question, and get to it. Micah, can you hear me?
Yeah, and now I'm going to get an offer because you said that. But
We'll
I hear
see.
you.
We'll see. Not with that kind of confidence, right? You got to believe in yourself. Earlier today, we talked about how Roger Goodell has said that it is no doubt going to happen. An NFL team is going to be in a non-United States city. So if Roger Goodell came to you and said, we're taking NFL to another country, what city are you putting the expansion NFL team in some other country?
Easily, I would go Mexico City. I mean, you saw what happened in the World Cup. They are electric, so 100% Mexico City. They have a crazy good stadium, too.
And they would break every single kicking distance record because of the altitude. Micah in Morrisville locked in with Mexico City. Let's go Sean in Youngsville. Sean, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right, same question to you. Roger Goodell said there's no doubt that an NFL team one day will be in a non-United States city. So if he came to you and said, what foreign country and city are we putting an NFL team, which one are you choosing?
I mean, I would say Mexico City as well, but I'm going to go Montreal.
All right. Dennis, any follow-up questions?
No questions.
All right. In that case, you get to choose out of Micah and Morrisville, who said Mexico City. I'm not sure they would be as electric for American football as they were for the World Cup, but I guess the potential is there. And Sean in Youngsville went with Montreal. You spent some time recently in Montreal.
I did. Montreal's a gorgeous city. It really is. I highly recommend anyone who gets a chance to go to Montreal, go to Montreal. It's absolutely awesome. Here's a rule of thumb for this. If the person answering second says, yeah, I would have gone with the person before me with their answer, I'm going to go with the person that went first. So I'm going to go Micah in Mexico City. But here's the one thing keep in mind about Mexico City, Tim.
Okay.
Is that I don't know if you followed this before, but do you know that Mexico City is like literally sinking? Like the city itself, because like there's issues with like the aquifers and all that stuff underneath, like watershed. So like
it is high elevation, but it's coming down like in the mud.
Like infrastructure and all that is literally like sinking. So we might have like a Dark Knight Rises situation, you know.
So let's not send like Ndamukong Suh and Trent Williams. You got to have a undersized offensive line. You need Lampkin. You need Kelsey. You need all the small offensive linemen because you can't have too much weight on the field. I didn't know that. That's a good, I'm sure, a good Wikipedia wormhole to go down.
Oh yeah.
So I'll probably do that at some point.
But there are certain parts of Mexico City that are sinking at rates of more than half an inch per month.
That seems like a lot.
Yeah, it is. So, but hey, we're going Mexico City, baby.
I thought you were going to say half an inch a year, and I was like, all right, that's like tectonic plate movement. I got it. You're falling. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. You learn something new every day. Mike in Morrisville will get to go first. Sean in Youngsville, you'll have your chance. Just have to sit on hold for a second or two. Mike, are you ready to pick a category?
Yep.
All right,
I'm good to go.
The categories are NFL players that were Von Miller's teammates at some point in their career, Major League Baseball players that are left-handed, NBA players that have a Z in their name, as in zebra, or NHL Hurricanes only.
Hurricanes only.
Had a feeling. I will give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock, one pass if you need it. Do you have any questions before we get started?
No, I think I'm good.
All right.
Hopefully.
And I will say the team in this category, even though we know it, just keep it fair timing-wise with the other categories. Since you have no questions, your time will start when you hear the horn. Jordan Martin of Carolina Hurricanes.
48.
Correct. Tony D'Angelo, Carolina Hurricanes.
77. Let's go.
Correct. Jeff Skinner, Carolina Hurricanes.
53.
Correct. Joni Pitkanen, Carolina Hurricanes.
25.
Correct. Dominic Fensori, Carolina Hurricanes.
9.
Incorrect. Dominic Fensori, Carolina Hurricanes.
89.
Correct. Perfect score.
22 seconds.
You just had to grunt out one. Just Fensori, 89.
I know he had a 9 in there. I just didn't remember where it was, but I got it.
All right, that was a pretty impressive.
That dude's an elite power play quarterback, by the way. And Tony D, shout out.
Did you say shout out in the middle of the game there for D'Angelo?
Yeah, I love Tony D'Angelo.
Usually we don't have people showboating during the numbers game. Either way, 5 for 5. What was it, 22 seconds, something like that? Stay on the line. We'll see if it holds up. You know the way this works. Let's get to Sean in Youngsville. Sean, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. The categories remaining for you to choose from are NFL players that were Von Miller's teammates at one point or another, Major League Baseball players that are left-handed, or NBA players that have a Z as in zoology in their name.
Left-handed.
Okay. Major League Baseball players that are left-handed, I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. I will give you the team and player. That's all we need to say here. You do need a perfect score faster than your opponent, but even if you feel like you're going long, try to get the perfect score all the way to the wire. Do you have any questions before we get started?
Nope.
All right. Your time will start when you hear the horn. Yordan Alvarez, Houston Astros.
22.
Incorrect. Tarek Skubal, Los Angeles Dodgers.
18.
Incorrect. Yordan Alvarez, Houston Astros.
47.
Incorrect. Tarek Skubal, Los Angeles Dodgers.
32.
Incorrect. Yordan Alvarez, Houston Astros.
14.
Incorrect. Tarek Skubal, Los Angeles Dodgers.
9.
Incorrect. Yordan Alvarez, Houston Astros.
51.
You know what? I respect the just firing away. You kept going with it. You had a pass you could have used. In the future, throwing the pass out there helps. But unfortunately, 0, not enough for the win. Hopefully you had some fun.
Yeah, thank you. That was tough.
Yeah, it's easier when you're sitting in your car than it is when you're live on air. I know that much. Alvarez, by the way, might win the Triple Crown this year. And Scooble is the, big apple of everyone's eye at the deadline and will be again in free agency this offseason. Their numbers, Alvarez 44, Scooble 29. That means Micah in Morrisville is the winner. He had a perfect score, and he's going to see the Jonas Brothers. Congrats, Micah.
Let's go. Thank you.
Go ahead and stay on the line, and Dennis will grab the info he needs to make sure you get your prize. All right, there you go.
Micah, our saving grace in the numbers game.
Hey, we've actually had more perfect scores recently than we've had in a while.
That's true.
It is just we've also been mixing in a hefty amount of offers, which does undo some of the excitement just a little bit. But it doesn't have to. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Before we move on, Tim Donnelly here for Kalshi. Maybe we'll be able to start trading on the numbers game at one point. But for right now, before the season even kicks off, everyone has football predictions. And you and everybody else can go to Kalshi, America's #1 prediction market platform, and trade those predictions in a live market. Predictions such as, who's going to win the division? Could it be the Panthers? Right now, they are trading at 23% to win the division, which is exactly what they did last year, by the way. Didn't even have to have a winning record to do it. What that means is a $100 trade on Carolina to win the division would pay out over $400 if it happens. That's up there right now as we speak. And remember, on Kalshi, you're trading against peers in a live market, meaning there's no house. And as the probability changes, you can buy in and out of your position, which means you can trade the game, the season-long race, the award. You can even trade quarter by quarter, right? You can go in and out of the market as you see fit. Download the Kalshi app and use code TIMD. That's TIMD, my first name with my last initial, no spaces, to get up to $500 in bonus credits when you trade $25. Again, code TIMD at signup. KALSHI, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only. Restriction and eligibility requirements apply. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Kalshi products are not available in all jurisdictions. Prices, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. We'll be right back to round out the show the proper way. Stick around.
Move your sports day forward.
Carolina Panthers, it's not just keep pounding, but keep fighting. I love a good training camp fight. It's better to get that stuff out of the way now than during the regular season when it costs you 15 yards in a good situation. It also shows to the league you want to be a physical team when a couple of years ago you were being questioned about it.
Get set up. Join Next Up with Paul Ihander. Mornings at 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. We do it all. In fact, we see patients within 48 hours for everything from sports injuries, spine care, and joint replacement to minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, pediatrics, and more. Visit us today at wakemed.org and get back your life.
Hi friends, this is Mark Pons from Chapel Hill Tire. I get it. You don't wake up excited to schedule car maintenance. Between work, school, family activities, and everything else life throws your way, it can be tough to find the time. That's why I'm excited to share that our University Place and Crabtree locations are open Saturdays from 8 to 5. Now you'll have one more option for taking care of your vehicle. Schedule your Saturday appointment today at chapelhilltire.com and drive happy.
Your team deserves better than a boring holiday party.
Rush Hour Karting has high-speed racing, axe throwing, scratch-made food, private rooms, and more. Everything you need, one destination. And right now, you can save up to 30% when you book by August 31st. The bigger the event, the bigger the savings. Book it. Pay the deposit. Party when you want.
Does not apply to currently booked events. Minimum purchase requirements.
Rush Hour Karting. 20 years of serious adult fun. RHKFun.com.
This hour of the drive brought to you by Allstar Dog Training. You've seen their dogs featured in college and professional sports. They can train your dog too. Visit allstardogtraining.com and schedule your free evaluation today.
Oh. We just gave away tickets to the Jonas Brothers. Quick, Dennis, best boy band of all time.
Oh, it's either Backstreet Boys or NSYNC.
You got it. I mean, that's you get.
Actually, you know what? Take all that
there.
back. New Kids on the Block. Let's go.
Okay. All right. I've had this conversation. This was like a year ago now, but I remember the debate. Are the Temptations a boy band?
Do you know what? That's a great...
kind of like 5 boys singing and dancing. That's exactly what like Backstreet Boys are.
That's true. I mean, they were in that era. They would have been a boy band. That's true. If they were considered a boy band, I would 100% put Temptations over all of them.
Yeah, like the OJs. Like there's a lot back in the day.
Ooh.
The Four Tops.
I was literally about to say the Four Tops.
If they count, then it changes everything.
Oh, that's a good question.
Food for thought. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Dave Canales, at times, he looks like he could be a little boy band action. Maybe if you told me in high school he was in like a four dudes in high school singing thing, they performed it after prom, I'd believe you. Keeps himself in pretty good shape, right? Keeps the haircut nice. Either way, he went a different path with his career, and he became the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. And with that, occasionally he speaks to the media, and we get to hear what he has to say. We've talked a bit about some of this, so I'm going to jump to the fourth clip there, Dennis. We haven't talked to you about it either. The preseason game on Saturday, there was good and bad. Good from Jalen Phillips. Good from Jasim Reed. There was good. There was good that Jonathan Brooks didn't get hurt. Played football, got hit, stood up, made it to the sideline. A lot of the bad started with the interior of the offensive line. Robert Hunt, Damian Lewis, the presumed starters at guard, did not play. They're still dealing with some injuries. And the depth on the interior did not show out, if you will, against Buffalo. So Dave Canales was asked how he feels about the interior offensive line depth, and this is what the coach said.
These are guys we know. I'm expecting what we've always gotten out of Chandler and Brady, guys who can step in and fill multiple roles. They've done a good job. They've done that well. So we'll just continue to push those guys, put them in different situations. Chandler's been snapping some. We know Brady can as well. All those things will bode really well for them as we start to evaluate for the 53.
Now, I know he was speaking in first name, so I'll just let you know. Chandler is Chandler Zavala. Brady is Brady Christensen. Those were the backup guards, or at least on the depth chart right now, they're the backup guards, although you heard him say they can also play center. They did draft Sam Hecht in the 5th round of this year's draft, so they have a rookie 5th rounder who is a center. The group had a rough day against Buffalo. Chandler Zavala may be the most obvious, but they had a rough day. I could understand a coach saying, like, we know these guys. I'm not expecting one bad performance in a preseason game to be their new standard. Dennis, was it bad enough for you that you are calling up free agent guards and saying, like, hey, are you in shape? Was it that kind of move?
I think you're going to have to explore what other guys like Jake Curran, Nick Samak can do as the number 2, as in terms of like that second on the depth chart, because I didn't think Brady Christensen did terrible. I know he's still recovering from that Achilles injury, but I thought Chandler Zavala was bad in the Hall of Fame game. He was bad again, and he's been oft injured in his career in the NFL. It's not like he's been that dependable in many facets. So to me, when Chris Lee and I on Panthers Playbook did an initial 53-man roster for the Carolina Panthers before training camp started, I had Chandler Zavala off the team. So to me, seeing him play, I feel validated, which is a weird thing to say. But to me, Chandler Zavala, you can move him down on the depth chart, and I don't see him making it.
And just to be clear, Carter and Samak are They're on the roster now. They're just third stringers.
Nick Samac, I think
so. It's not that's not what I like. That's not going out and finding replacements. That's just saying we need to give someone else on the roster a shot because we've now given you a couple and you haven't lived up to it.
I know Samac has mostly been a center in his career, so this is a little bit of a different adjustment for him, playing guard as opposed to center. But I think you got to give the guy a shot.
It's pretty difficult to make a NFL roster as a interior offensive lineman if you're like, I'm a guard, not a center, or I'm a center, not a guard. That swing ability is pretty darn important. So if he hasn't been working on it a ton, stay after practice and work on it. You know what I mean? Like you have to be able to make that happen. Here's the deal, and here's why I bring it up, and here's why I've talked about it so much. Damian Lewis and Robert Hunt, I have a lot of confidence in when healthy. The last two words of that sentence are doing a lot of work. I have a lot of confidence in them when healthy. They both have missed a good chunk of games since they become Carolina Panthers. And even if you're like the most durable dude in the world, unless you are like a legit superhero, the offensive line is a hazardous place to be. Injuries are going to happen. Actually, I saw that there's a Charger, and I won't say his name because he's getting bashed on Twitter pretty good. But there were at least a few clips, which is why I'm not giving a name, because a few clips don't tell the whole story. But I guess he just likes throwing people out the club, so to speak. Like he does his job by tossing the guy that he's blocking. And it just puts everyone around him at risk of blowing their knees out because he's just throwing fully grown adults, like the biggest humans out there, like hip tossing them essentially. And you could look at it and say, like, I mean, he's doing his job, or he's blocking, but it just makes it hazardous to be like standing in the trenches. The offensive line is a hazardous place. You need depth at all 5 positions. You need depth. And your depth at tackle's already been eaten up because Moton's not playing and Nquanu's not playing. So those guys have already been thrust, meaning Rasheed Walker and Monroe Freeling, into the starting lineup. What are the chances that the guards just stay healthy for the entire season? It just can't be expected.
I mean, Robert Hunt played one regular season game last year, if I remember correctly. Then because he had the torn bicep, and came back and played in the playoff game. But that's 16 games lost. And Damian Lewis also missed a game last year too, and dealt with some injuries.
They've both missed some time, and it's just an unfair expectation to say you can't get hurt. And based on what I saw against Buffalo, I might go like, you guys can't get hurt. like nah, we need you. And the offense around them, right? Because I talk highly of their skill positions. I like Tetairoa McMillan, big fan of Jalen Coker. I think if healthy, Jonathan Brooks can be something. Obviously, Darren Waller brings something new to the tight end room. Like, I like some of their skill positions. That group is not good enough to overcome an offensive line that's leaky, right? That like there's going to be times where those wide receivers need time to get open. They're not going to win quick every single time. I like Jonathan Brooks. I don't want him getting the Ashton Genty treatment from last year where, the average contact is 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Like, they need the help of their offensive line, not to mention that over the cap, which tracks contracts, has Carolina as one of, if not the highest priced offensive line in the NFL when it comes to dollars being spent on offensive line this year. You can't have that much money invested in a position group and have it be below average. So, yeah, I'm worried about the depth of the offensive line. I'm worried about the depth. If you tell me Damian Lewis, Robert Hunt are healthy, if you tell me Monroe Freeling is healthy enough to play at right tackle and Rasheed Walker is healthy enough to play at left tackle, I'm good there. I'm good there. Like, I think that is a talented, exciting, athletic offensive line. But I'd be lying if every time that there's a dead ball and one of them takes more than a second or two to stand up, I'm going to be going, oh no, because I just don't like the depth they have at the offensive line right now. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Please subscribe to our YouTube, as I said earlier, 99.9 The Fan on YouTube. You heard Dennis mention Panthers Playbook. That lives on our YouTube channel. You can also check out Pack Therapy, podcast I host. That lives on our YouTube channel. Kane's Corner lives on our YouTube channel, on and on and on and on. It's all there. So subscribe, 99.9 The Fan. Check out all the content going out on our YouTube. Coming up on Overdrive, we are looking at the Carolina Panthers and where they'll be in the next 3 years. And also the starter, Billy Edwards Jr., named for the Carolina Tar Heels football team, starting quarterback, I should say, has been named, and the impact that might have on the Tar Heels. So that's coming up in Overdrive. We'll have more Jonas Brothers tickets for the numbers game tomorrow, so perhaps we'll have to litigate who the best boy band is of all time. Enjoy that. And enjoy your night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great night.
Excuse me, you think you could spare a square?
Sorry, what?
A square on your smartphone.
Oh, yeah, for the 99.9 The Fan app.
Exactly. Listen to your favorite hosts, teams, and live sports action.
The Carolina Hurricanes are the best team in the NHL. They won the 2026 Stanley Cup.
And every podcast episode at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere.
Available for Apple iPhone and Android phones. Download the 99.9 The Fan app today.
Hot summer days mean time on the water. Let Sound Station and Security make your time even better with our custom boat options. At Sound Station and Security, our Raleigh marine experts can help you for everything with your boat, from the perfect audio system to lights to video. We do it all custom, and we do it all from scratch. You're unique. Your boat should be too. Make sure everyone knows where the best party is this summer on the lake with Sound Station and Security. With 2 locations, downtown Smithfield and on Glenwood Avenue.